What's good, what's good, what's popping, y'all? Bohemia with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings. And today we are doing a little bit of an intense one. This is going to be one that is, as the title says, for those of us who have an ex that passed away. So I don't know if there's, any readings like this. I have thunder and rain going. I need my water element. But, it's a thing that's just really strange and hard and difficult to process. And especially when I'm recording this, it's 2020, so there's already like so much, grief and chaos and like, just strangeness going on in the world. So I wanted to do a video for this. I made a little index card deck where I just sat and channeled whatever came, all messages, good or bad. This is going to be the truth. Not everyone was on good terms with their ex partying. Some people were. So please really sit with yourself and see if you are ready to hear these messages, and whatever may come up, I'm just going to channel through and deliver the messages. So we have 3 groups that we're asking our loved ones or not so loved ones past, the people we're connecting with, to come through and channel in like groups with. And I'm gonna do oracle and tarot and the channeled messages, and probably throw some like of the letter dice on top so we can see if there's any other keywords or names that come out, maybe some charms as well. So yeah, we're just gonna roll with this. I'm recording it live again, but unlisted, and hopefully it will process quicker this time because it took a long time to catch up last time that I did that. So let's go ahead and see your options. We have lithium quartz. Lithium quartz is very good for gently bringing up issues, concerns that we want to work on from our subconscious, versus some crystals can like kind of pack a punch and just like smack you into like, okay, shamanic healing, like Kumbaba Jasper or Moldavite, or some of those are like just really push forward, like super quantum healing. And sometimes we need something a bit more gentle, like we're not ready to do all that. So I do, for this type of energy, recommend lithium quartz, rhodochrosite, rhodonite, snowflake obsidian. I have some that will be popping up here next week that's coming in. Lepidolite. Those are all really good crystals to work with. Peach moonstone, black moonstone, obsidian, and obsidian in the form of Apache's tears. Those are all really good ones to work with. Okay, so we have tulip seashell for option 2. And we have blue lace agate, another great one that helps us open our throat chakra while honoring our heart chakra. So be able to communicate truthfully our emotions without suppressing them, but also find our own way of kind of regulating our emotions so we're not overwhelmed by them. All right, so yes, lithium quartz, tulip seashell, and blue lace agate. And I will find you on your timestamp, or I'll see you there. All right, if you chose lithium quartz, we're going to get into some life shuffle for these oracles here. Calling in your good spirit crews, those for lithium quartz, a one like the sauce, in a good way, with all honesty, accuracy, and clarity. Please let us see what is going on, messages that you have for your person. We're going to do messages, connecting and tuning in first, and then we will do a little flashback from the past. Hopefully I'll remember and maybe do a separate timestamp for that, because some people might not want to go over that again, but we will pull out some tarot and look at the situation from the past as well. So for now, we're going to tune in and see what they want to say about this connection. Okay. And I'm sorry for your guys' loss. Okay, these ones want to jump out early. Okay. They stick a little bit because they're index cards, so they got the texture. And last but not least, we will go ahead and do some tarot on here. Just kind of give them different areas to talk about different things. Okay. So let's see what is going on with your loved one or your person who has passed. We are allowed to feel whatever we need to feel in this process. I do want to remind that and hold space because, again, not everybody had the best of situations with somebody who's an ex that has passed, okay? So let's look in and see what we're hearing here first. We have self-awareness and the Three of Wands reversed. So at their time of passing, you could have been in a different location. You could have been far away from them. You might have felt it. You definitely could be in the group where you might have woken up. You might have felt something in your dreams. You might have felt something strange. Your energy, your aura picked up that this person transitioned, or that for some of them it was like an accident occurred or something stopped for them. Perhaps some of them had a heart attack, or it's like this pause happens in their life force, and you feel this, you connect with this. And even if at the moment you didn't say, oh, light bulb, this person is, you know, having an emergency or they have crossed over, you might later have gone back to the strangeness of that moment and done the math and realized it was at the time that this person passed away. Oh, and we have, I'm attached because I don't know how to move on. Help. So I don't want anyone to be afraid, but this lets us know that this person, yes, they could have clung to you when they crossed over. For some of you, I'm thinking that you also might be doing this reading for someone who passed away that is connected to your ex. Like maybe your ex didn't pass away, but their friend did, or something of that nature. So you could have been the intuitive person around, and so they were like, you'll know what to do, and they kind of clung to your energy. And some of you are, you know, obviously here about the ex as well. We have 22 here, master number. So they felt like your energy's aware, you know, aware, your aura is very big. I can connect with you, and maybe you can help me because I'm lost. I'm lost in the crossroads. I don't know where to go. As like, I don't know where to transition. I don't know what to do. Okay, so that's very important information. If you've been having a lot of energy mood swings, if you've, you know, been feeling this person around in a way that wasn't in a healed way or in a healthy way, you know, it just, something felt off. I think that you were very accurate in picking up on that. And this could say that you and this person might need to go to an elder or healer if you don't know how yourself, so that you can help them be able to cross over, okay? Let's see what other messages are coming through here. We have the tooth. So this person could have had something significant with their teeth. Maybe they had a missing tooth, or they had had concerns with their teeth. Maybe they had amazing teeth, megawatt smile. They could have had veneers. Maybe they've known you since the age that you guys lost your teeth. You had your baby teeth. Maybe, you know, one or both of you had some oral concerns or something of that nature. It also could be that they're acknowledging that you have aged since they've passed, so you might be asking about someone who has been gone for some years. There also could be a Capricorn involved, okay? And we have the Emperor. So this, okay, this combo, it's so strange. I've seen this combo before. This could be someone who is older than you, okay? Or since it's a general, you could have been older than them, and they are marking that age difference as an identifier. But especially for someone who held what they say call masculine energy, or was male identified, that could have been like a thing. They could have had zaddy energy, okay, for sure. It says, look for symbols of me that I'm leaving around. Okay, so we know this person's very connected. We do have a trident here. For some of you, this could have been a Pisces. It could have been an Aries, a Capricorn. We have Leo, Aries, Sag. Those are the signs so far. We do have Aquarian energy with the 5. Okay, but yeah, they're definitely around. It's so weird, but I feel like some of you might have bit your lip or your cheek or something, and you were like, why do I keep doing that? Like, what is going on? Or you wake up and you're feeling very sore and tense, and you don't know why, and it's kind of like this tension of their spirit trying to like get your attention, bother you, so you're like waking up feeling a little bit stressed because their spirit's like making you restless and your body's like tensing up. Okay, let's see some further messages. We have the waning gibbous. So for those of you who really know moon phases, this person could have been born or could have passed on a waning gibbous moon. We have number 54 here. That could be significant. We did have a 5 and we did have a 22, which is a 4. So maybe 54 is significant. They could have had it on a jersey. They could have passed when they were 54. It could have been something significant for them. We do have fire energy, so they could have had a fire moon sign, Leo, Aries, Sag. And we have a 4 of Wands here. Maybe you guys, your first date, there was something significant about the moon. There's a moon here and there's a crescent moon here. So maybe it was after a full moon when the moon was beginning to wane. Again, we have fire energy, Aries energy here. Maybe some of you had traveled to somewhere or lived somewhere that was very hot. That we have islands here, we have volcanoes, we have hibiscus, Jamaica could be a thing. This person could have had some tattoos. You can also feel their presence, I think, strongly during the full moon and right after it wanes, and you might literally feel them put their arm around you. They're very physical. It says, I love all my children. So this definitely could be somebody who was a parent with the Emperor here. There could have been a significant birthday that happened. This card can come up to say, if they had kids by multiple people, they're letting it be known, I love all my kids. Like, I don't want any of my children being treated badly. I don't want any of my children being excluded from their access to me or my life or whatever. They're really clarifying that maybe they made some bad decisions and didn't know how to balance all their different families if they had multiple. But they are being very, very clear that they are present with all of their children and they want all of their children involved in ceremonies, celebrations, memorials, birthdays, holidays for them, and that they are present at all of their children's events, okay? Some of you could have had a child after this person had passed, and so they are acknowledging the birth of that child too, and they might, since they're so close to you, they might still feel like that kid's kind of theirs. And some of you maybe you guys had separated and they had passed and then you had a child. We have more lunar energy here. We have flow. Wow, there's like these tiny, I don't even know if you can see them. There's like these little tiny, like dark gold fairy lights, orbs all over this card. I thought I had something on it because I've never noticed that before on this card. It's only with this light that I can see it like that. So, you might actually see orbs in this case. Not all spirits, will show up in that way, but you might be like, oh my gosh, that's what I was waiting to hear was orbs. They said it would have worked. I was dumb. So the Wheel of Fortune, they feel like, it was possible in the cards for them and, for you guys to have figured it out in a different way. With all the crazy juggle of life, what fate had, what destiny had, what you guys had going on, it could have, if they had been a better emperor, and steered more accurately. That could be another sign. For some of you, this person was in the Navy, or they were tied to water in some way. They could have, come from like seafaring family, fishermen. Again, they could have been islanders. They could have known navigation or being on boats or being near water. I know this is a mermaid tarot, but it's really jumping out specific symbols since they said the symbols in these cards. And we're getting more water here in additional decks. So yeah, that's possible. But yeah, they're like, I could have, you know, gone with the flow a bit better, and when destiny threw something in the way, I could have responded better. I could have made this work. Like, yeah, I was definitely dumb sometimes. We have Sagittarian energy here as well. Okay. Thriving. So this person could have been really focused on like trying to make it in the world, trying to watch their coin. They could have been neglectful to their loved ones sometimes because they always thought that they would have time to make it come back around. So they could have really focused on work, or just been overwhelmed with their ambitions that they had and just wondering how they could get them off the ground. And they could have definitely been the type that they missed out spending time with their loved ones as much as they should have or wanted to, because they were concerned with like work and business and things of that nature. But again, they have this vibe that they are surrounding with other spirits, children that are connected to them. Also, when they speak of children, it could have been if they passed really young and people have had kids since then, whether it would have been people who would be their siblings now, or their, you know, their besties have had kids, or you've had kids. Of course, there's going to be a spectrum of people. This could be for some of you someone who passed, you know, middle school, high school, whatever it is. They feel like through others that they've had kids, if that's the case, and they watch over these children. It can also be nieces, nephews, that are very close to their heart that they watch over. Okay. Yeah. It says, I'm not healed over here. I need ceremony. So they are very intense on this. Some of them, it's because they passed very young, or because they weren't very taught in their traditions to know what the heck to do once they got to the other side. Like, where was my teaching? Because a giraffe is third eye and foresight. Okay. They also could have been raised in a tradition that was not of their people, like a religion or something, and now they're like, this doesn't feel right, so I don't really know where to go or what to do in the spiritual world afterwards, because, like, again, I feel stuck at the crossroads. So there definitely could be the need to see if you can find someone who was of their, you know, traditions, or more accurate to their peoples or something, and see if they can help this person cross over if you don't have that skill set. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles, purification. So as far as how they feel, though, this particular soul does not feel like they're in pain at all. So as far as, you know, leaving their body, you know, to rest, as far as feeling rejuvenated in spirit, being kind of pulled back together with their life force, they are loving it. They are loving feeling like they have a clean slate, feeling like they can take notes on their life review and learn from it. And yeah, they feel like they're gonna do good. They feel like they're gonna do good. They already are having epiphanies about what they should have done differently, but they do feel a sense of forgiveness, a sense of, you know, I'll be able to begin again. Like, yes, I need to heal a lot and I don't know exactly what to do over here, but I can already feel this cathartic energy here. Like, I already have maybe released some pain if they had been in physical pain when they crossed over. Yeah, just a sense of peace. And they could be visiting their loved ones, especially if you guys are by water. When it rains, I felt to put the rain in the background. Yeah, I do feel like when they do have little moments that they connect more on the other side, they do like it. They're just worried about how to fully go there, because with this Knight of Pentacles, they are very connected to the earth plane. And that could be part of the problem too, is they love it here too. So they just don't really know what to decide. You know, there's things that they would miss. Maybe they're like, I'll miss the rain, I'll miss the sunsets, I'll miss the seasons, you know. I love summertime, or whatever it was that was dear to them, that held them close. So all right, let's see. Let's see some more. I want to do some charms, and I want to throw the letter dice so that we can maybe get some more personal identifiers and a little bit more about what they want to say. I want to provide a few different methods of divination, as different spirits like different things, ways to communicate, and different, viewers notice signs and symbols in different ways. So, okay, let's go ahead and throw the letters here from your person for those who chose A1 lithium quartz. For some of you, this person was a waiter, or they really like to go out to eat or to bars, because I'm seeing tips. Okay, they also could have been like the friend who had a lot of advice. They could have been like, they were like your friend even as your ex. They could have been somebody who was the life of the party. They might have this like to go to the bar scene, maybe to gamble a little bit, go out to concerts. Oh, I saw Bet. For some of you, this person's name could have been Beth or Bethany. We do have that here. They could have had a name that started with B that could be shortened to B, I guess. Let's see. I'm seeing sip. I'm seeing spit. So some of you, this person could have been like a little bit country or something. They could have smoked, drank, chewed tobacco. For some of them, they could have had like a pit bull. They could have liked dogs. They could have just been really ornery. I'm seeing TP as in toilet paper. So they could have been like mischievous, prankster, that kind of energy. I'm also seeing TP as in a traditional TP. So they could have been, for some of you, Native. First Nations here on Turtle Island. Let's see, we got hits. So maybe they were really good with, one, they could have just hit different for you, like more than anyone else has so far. This connection could have been something that it hit everybody different. People just weren't expecting it, they didn't know really how to take it, or just like, whoa, that kind of thing when you guys got together, or if they found out, if it had been more low key. And this, I think they know that their loss hits differently for you, for sure. Maybe you've experienced other losses, but this one is just, it's a lot to take in, right? I do again feel some humor with this person. They could be someone who takes they say take the piss out of you, which is, if you're not familiar with that slang in English, it's means that they just tease you to death, basically, to death. So I feel like this is a very punny person. They could like to joke around a lot when they're in certain moods. Some of them could have been Star Wars fans. I'm seeing Sith here. Pits, they could have been someone who liked to eat a lot of fruit, or they could have grown up working on land that was very fruitful. They could have had a little bit of an ornery side to them, been a little cantankerous sometimes, because it's like reminding me of Pissy. They could have they could have just been a shit talker too. This is a very filthy mouth that they have, so they could really, maybe it's when they drank, because I do get the feeling of drinking, that they would do these things. Now, I really hope for none of you that there was any abuse, because for some of you with hits there could be behavior that was not okay that happened, especially when we're having drinking, and I'm very sorry if that happens. And that is, like I said, you have the right to feel however you feel about this person passing, okay? I'm seeing bit and bite, so that could have been something that they like to play bite, or being intimate. They could have, like, again, like to bite and things of that nature. Again, I'm getting a very, like, a potty mouth with this person for a lot of you. Site. Some of you went to the site where they passed, or you went to their burial site, or there was a very, a traditional, maybe ceremonial site, because they said I need ceremony. Okay. So there could have been a ceremonial site that you spent time with them at, and they're thinking about that, or they're asking you to, go to that site and do ceremony for them, okay? With PB, they could be a big peanut butter fan. They could have also had some strange cravings at weird times, for sure. They could have believed in some weird things, because I just got the feeling of Yeti. All the letters aren't here, but oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say the letters. PBSTEHI are the letters here. They could be a bit of, I think, a tyrant sometimes when they wanted to, very bossy. We have the Emperor there, and I think that's something that is possible. For some of you, they could have been a boob person. Again, this person, like, when we throw the dice here, they're like, okay, now we're getting to the fun stuff. Let me curse. Let me say what I liked intimately. Like, all those kind of things. They could have really liked children, though, again, because we have PBS, which is public broadcast system. It's like programs for kids and learning and education. So they definitely could have a side of them that was children friendly, but they definitely had a side that was not. There could be something with the Shetland pony, or maybe this person was tied to ponies or horses in some way, as well. Okay, anything else that I'm getting from that? For some of you, this person was petite, or maybe they like petit fours or something, little cakes. I'm also getting sheep, so maybe, I mean, there's people watching from all over the world, different traditions, so maybe if you made them something with sheep or lamb that was like a traditional food, they really like to eat that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the letters, but go ahead and screenshot it if you want to and see what other words that you have that come up. They could have had very magnetic eyes too, and you might feel like you still just can see them looking at you, or maybe you have a picture and you've been staring at their eyes in that picture, and they're with you when, like I said, they're attached, they're with you a lot. They're with you when you're doing that, and they're like, no, I am here. You're like, I think I just saw their eyes. Are they staring at me through this picture? And they're there, okay? So let's go ahead and get some charms. We got a whole thing of charms here for this person. Okay, yeah, some of you, this person definitely could have been a warrior of some sort, whether you consider that through military things in your country, or whether you consider that in more like traditional indigenous ways to your country. Yes, there's definitely some native fam in this group, or it could be, whoever would be indigenous in your area or country. Wow, this spirit is very connected to you. We have two hot air balloons together over here, and we have two butterflies over here. For some of you, this person passed right after someone else passed. We have another two butterflies here. Okay, either they could have passed, and we have a lot of things about children. So if you are wondering if you and this person had had a child and your child had passed, or if there had been a miscarriage, they're with that child's spirit, okay? Or if they had had, even, with someone else, they had had a child pass away before, they're with that child's spirit, and they do feel eternal. So again, they're kind of going between the realms here. They're with you quite often, but they've had enough of, connection on the other side that they are feeling healed, and they are seeing a lot of spirits actually might be coming through and trying to help them to cross over fully and heal fully. But yeah, we have the little baby stroller here. We have the eternal child, so there definitely could be dragonflies are placed on the graves of children when they pass, as a symbol for their immortal spirits. So that's definitely possible. And they're acknowledging here that the X, look, they're calling you like the fancy X. Like you might be like the Hollywood one to them, or like, something like that. So some of you, you are influencers, or you were the one that they would think of as the bougie person they dated, or because I do say they feel something about them feels a little country or just a little bit like kickback. Um, and so you might have been a lot fancier than they are. They're like, why are you wearing makeup to go out fishing or something like that? There is a tie to the southwest. So one of you could be to the southwest, or you could have traveled there if you're in the States, or wherever. They could have been connected to somewhere, hot, anywhere from like desert to somewhere a little bit more tropical. They definitely have connected with their ancestors, and I feel like their ancestors are trying to help them find their way on the other side. For some of you, there's a connection to France, that's there. I do feel like they have had a bit of astral traveling, although it wouldn't necessarily be called that if, as their spirit left. And so I think that they kind of saw some different sights around the world, and you might have had some kind of experience where you felt like, because we got the compass key, where you felt like, oh my gosh, I think they finally saw that place they wanted to see. Like you might have had a dream, or you might have just intuitively felt like, I think that they got to see some sights that they wanted to see, since they've passed. And this is absolutely right. I've never had the two hot air balloons like together like that, and then butterflies together. So you might see things in doubles when they're talking to you. We have two feathers here, and them letting you know, because they said symbols that they're still here. They definitely know that they have some they definitely know that they have some karma to work out. They're like, yeah, um, I didn't learn things that I should have figured out. I definitely made some mistakes. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, this is the grumpy Santa that's on here next to the stubborn person, and some restrictions or trouble someone got into. So I feel like they also have some good surprises though, because it's like when you take a test and you're like, man, I still got these wrong after all my studying, or dang, my procrastination caught up with me, but then you got some right that you didn't think you would, and you're like, yay, you're all happy about it. That's how they feel with their life review. There's like, oh, there's some things I got right. I got some good karma for some things I didn't know. So they definitely have been reviewing, as much as they can in their own way, their Akashic records here. And just, they definitely, yes, it's like the little sea turtle that made it back to their ancestors. They've seen guides and angels. They've been asking a lot of questions. So for some of you, your person is um, more crossed over than others. Okay, there's a spectrum. This is a general reading, but for the whole group, I feel like they do want official like ceremonies or memorials, or you know um, offerings or whatever it is to help them fully, and to make sure they have a good send off on the other side. Okay, and again, it's up to you how much you feel like it's your responsibility to do that, because you guys have your own history, although this does feel like a more lighthearted pile. um, yeah, so we have letters H. There's a hummingbird here. So you can see butterflies, hummingbirds, dragonflies, hot air balloons, or feathers when this person is leaving you messages. You could also see palm trees or blooming cacti. This person is with you on the holidays for sure. We have initials Q, G, H, Z, K. And I do feel like for some of you, there will be more questions that you will find the answers to from this person. I also see an F on here. Um, I feel like some of you found something out on their Facebook after they passed, and they are acknowledging that as well, like taking responsibility for that, whatever that was. But they definitely, a lot of them could be connecting through holiday music, or just trying to speak with you clairaudiently through these times. Some of them, there's a Virgo child who has been born, or a Virgo who got pregnant since they passed, and that's very connected to this person. Okay, they're bringing that up. So um, for whom that connects with. But I love to see that for a lot of you, they are with another spirit that you care about, or that they had missed for sure, and they're very near their children, or anyone who may be pregnant with their children at this time, or a loved one who's pregnant. They're very connected, and learning to get closer and closer with their ancestors as they make their long trek back into the greater, all that is. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and see some things about what happened for those who might need a little, I don't know, a closure, just a look at things. So if that is not something that you want to do, feel free to, click off, and please hit the like. But we're going to go ahead and pull some playing cards and some tarot to look at the past situation a little bit more. If there were, other parties might come up, things of that nature, okay? So, just if you feel like you're ready, you can always come back later whenever you're ready in your process and finish watching the video. Healing is the utmost importance, so, importance. Okay, so for group A1, like the sauce, Lithium, Quartz, please let us know more of what happened in this situation with them and their ex. Please let us know what happened. Okay. What was really going on? Six of Swords reversed. Yeah, some of you definitely felt like it was toxic. It ended up being toxic. The Seven of Wands reversed. Nine of Cups reversed. Let's see. Page of Cups, the Sun. Star reversed, Page of Swords, and Ten of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, so a lot of you could end up being disappointed. Knight of Pentacles reversed at the bottom of the deck, and the way this person handled this connection, you could have felt like, well, again, for a lot of you, there were multiple people having kids, okay, and situations about that, and that, that's enough said in a way, right? But for some of you, I do feel like that you felt danger in this situation, or you felt it wasn't healthy, and you felt in order to heal you had to move away from this connection, or maybe once you were kind of pushed out of it by your loved ones, or because of this person's decisions, you were then able to try to start your healing process. But I think for a lot of you, you were so enamored by this person, you felt like we got the sun, the stars, and the Nine of Cups, both wishing cards, and you had such high hopes. And it does look for a lot of you, other people could have gotten in the way. It could have been family. It could have been someone who was very jealous, because we have you here turned into Medusa. And so Medusa needed help and support, and instead she was villainized and cursed. So it could have been somebody who was an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It could have been an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. You guys might be water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or we have Leo energy here. And just experience going through a lot of, trauma. There could have been issues with transportation, or trying to find a new place after this situation happened, and feeling like the other person, although they had a lot of goodness to them, and that they had some wounds and some healing they needed to do, feeling like they were just like unnecessarily cold at certain times when it was just uncalled for. They didn't try to, it's like there's just this moment where they should have worked for the connection, or they should have stood up for you, or they should have said something, and they didn't. And it put distance between you guys, and it kept you guys from having this like happy ending and this commitment. And you kind of felt like it check marked, their prioritizing of other people and not you, and not, bringing you in like as important as you should be to them. But I do feel like there was a part of you that always stayed open to this person, and having an affection for them. Those of you who did have children by this person might have still, taught your children, let your children love this person and see the good in them. Maybe ones that were a little older, or who had interacted with them might have you know, their own opinions, but I do think that you try to not say anything traumatic or anything like that, and this person really appreciated that. You know, they felt like you were very innocent, even if you were sometimes a little misguided, because, you know, we did get in the previous set of readings that this person could have been older than you. Some of you could have been older as well, and so maybe they thought that you acted a bit more youthful. So sometimes maybe they, if you were older, they felt like, okay, you're supposed to know more, more than I do about these things. But I feel like for a lot of you, this person was older than you, and or they saw you as just very being very innocent, maybe a little bit naive or gullible, and they are aware that they were aware, even, you know, being present on this planet, that they should have taken more care. Like they should have looked looked out for you more, and not started something that they couldn't finish, not you know, start something on such a in such a serious way and then not continue to invest in it. Now, for some of you, I see that this person, you're asking about someone who passed when you were very young, like you guys were kids, or, you know, just you weren't even probably out of high school or maybe like early college or something. And again, this person could be a little bit older than you then. And it could have just been that, you know, young love slash friendship slash excitement, and maybe you felt like they kind of hung out with a different crowd sometimes, or there was kind of distance in, you know, trying to hang out and interact with them. Maybe sometimes they didn't always acknowledge you the best as they should have. And for that, I do feel like for those who passed young, it could have been in car accidents for some of them, and it could have there's got to be at least one person. This person probably passed after a party in a car accident. They could have been a bit athletic, and it could have been something that they had to do assemblies and you know, pamphlets. Maybe they had people speak to, you know, the school therapist and things of that nature. So it really was a mark on your generation. And, you know, there's happiness after that. You guys have grown and healed, but there's always been that feeling of, you know, kind of feeling that person on your spirit, and now, you know, wondering, are they still with me? Are they still connecting to some of us and kind of growing up alongside of us? And so for those of you, I would say yes, they are kind of, in some ways, kind of still youthful, but they did also continue to grow a bit on the other side. Some spirits do before, you know, some spirits kind of just reincarnate again, and some kind of do their growing up parallel to us on the other side and kind of get some vicarious lessons through us. So for those of you who had that younger passing, I think that's what has happened with this person. So they still see you guys as like this group of kids, right? So when they're talking about loving all the kids, loving the children, that you could have had children since then and grown up, but also there's this vibe where, you know, they can't help but see you guys as like classmates, peers as well. So some of you, you maybe didn't fully get to even fall all the way in love with this person. Like you guys didn't get to have that first kiss or first date, or it was very young love, okay? So we got a couple storylines going on. All right. I'm recording this completely unlisted. No one has the link to it. And I like the video. And now an invisible person has liked the video. There's 2 likes on the video. So whether it is, like I said in the last video, the feds or our loved ones in spirit, there's 2 likes on this video, just so you know. All right, let's see some further messages. So please, Spirit, what I want to see with this second, let's go ahead and pull these up. With this second layer of cards here, let's look into what could have been. Okay, what could have been if different decisions were there? Did our spirit crews from our people here who chose group A1 with the lithium quartz, their spirit crew, their person's spirit crew, did they have other plans for this connection, this union? If free wills were chosen differently, what could have happened? We have the 7 of Cups, the King of Cups, 5 of Stars, Jack of Hearts, sorry, 7 of Hearts, King of Hearts, Jack of Stars, 5 of Stars. This is a 5 suited deck, playing card deck, Jack of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, Ten of Diamonds, Three of Swords, Eight of Diamonds. We have Four Clubs on the bottom. I think that you guys were always meant to find each other, to connect, to have this real world connection. I think that connecting with you even grounded their spirit longer, and helped root them in some ways. But I do feel like this connection was always going to be broken. They were always meant to have challenges and difficulties in certain areas that would inevitably affect you being connected with them. They were meant to feel this beautiful young love, and if a child came from this union, however long that child lasted, because again, I am seeing here that's for some of you, your child could have also passed, and I'm so sorry, or there could have been a miscarriage. Okay. um, that was part of the plan, and again, we have this person and this child on the other side, for those who that applies. hmm But yeah, there was always this setup that this person, you could get what you need from this person, even if they went to spirit. They're definitely one of your soulmates. There definitely is that connection. They've always had the energy that they could finish their path on the other side. And you always had where you needed to stay more grounded. You needed to stay here. You have more work to do. So please don't forget that, okay? But we do have that you were meant to come together and have some wonderful experiences. Again, there could be a specific site. The environment needs our energy too. So if you guys did, have some good times in certain areas or cities, if you did have sacred sites or ceremony together, that was important. There's an energetic mark of that. It's like if somebody who's a psychic comes in later generations, they can get a reading of that, of your guys' experience and interaction together. But it does look like they were meant to cross over to spirit. When they did, and that is where they need to finish out their ceremonies and lessons. Yeah, it's showing travel. Their work is in spirit right now. And again, there's other young souls there for them to connect with, and you are meant to love someone else. And this person could have sensed, although I don't know that they all knew that they would pass at the time that they did. Their spirit crew did, their ancestors did, and you are meant to love other people here. Okay, your work is not done. If you guys did do some kind of charity work together or ceremonial work, you are meant to continue it. And that is definitely a direct message from them. Something that their physical self would probably say is that they want you to continue to live your life, like stay on task, like do your best qualities, do what they can't do now that they're in other realms. They would wish the same for some of their friends, but again, I do think some of their friends also are probably maybe have crossed over. They might have known people also who had passed over, especially if they were in some kind of service, military, or warrior kind of energy. If you do know a mutual friend of this person's who isn't doing so well, there could be someone incarcerated, or they could be struggling with like an addiction or a lot of burdens. If you are where you were on good terms or want to be on good terms with your ex's energy, and you could show love to these people, that would mean a lot to this ex that you're asking about. It's something that they would care about if they were here. But yeah, I think if they could have continued their path and if they could have learned their lessons, I could see you guys being together. But I also feel like both of your spirit crews had different plans for you guys, and they allowed the confusion and the things that happened because they felt that you would ignore other options that were actually your soulmate contracts during this time. And to be honest, they knew that this person was going to pass way before you would expect it, and that it would be very difficult for you to handle. I think for a lot of you, since we're asking about our ex that then passed, you were separate from them. You weren't full-fledged in this thing when it happened, right? And were you to have been so, I think that you would have tried to exit your incarnation early to go be with them. Or you could have even, accidentally, kind of karmically, if you were always attached at their hip, have been taken out before your time just because you were always with them in the car or whatever happened. So, um, your spirit crews knew that your paths were going to differ and that you needed to be here longer, and you have many beautiful things to experience, and that they needed to go and be at rest, okay? And we're getting a lot of fours. So when you see 444, that's the reminder that this person, is still trying to heal and get their ceremony. Some of you might get burps or hiccups at weird times. Feeling the energy. Our bodies can do weird things, but there's a lot of energy around. And I do feel like some of you, you're going to get that laughter, that joviality, that youthfulness back, that sparkle back. You're going to fall in silly in love again, or you're going to experience having children. If you did have children with this person, you might have children with other people, or you'll find your children be able to grow and thrive and feel loved, even if it does take a little bit of time. You'll find other people that will be good mentors and good support systems, that won't replace but will add all the right things that they could be missing their parent, okay? For those of you that applies. So allow yourself to heal, but your spirit crew does say you will heal, you will be in love. Some of you have already found that and you're like, yes, I did. I might be going back and thinking about opening this up and healing now, but I have found love. I have so many things that are amazing. For those of you who had already moved beyond this relationship and healed from it, and then this kind of opened up a new wound, and you are not knowing, like, should I feel guilty, should I feel bad, I maybe you didn't have the best relationship with this person. It's saying it's okay for you to be happy, and it's also totally okay if you feel a bit traumatized by what happened. For some of you, it made you have to deal with old people that were third parties and fourth parties and fifth parties and things of that nature. So yeah, look at all these fives. So it could have been earth, air, fire sign that came through, and you're like, I just want to heal and deal with this, and get my cry or go on with my happiness. And so just know that it's going to be all right. And spirit Spirit wants everyone to just be the winner. Don't feel like you have to overly interact with any antagonistic party who's trying to come back in the situation that was maybe also affiliated with this ex, who maybe it's out of their grief that they're not handling it the best ways, and feel like the winner. Sometimes it pulls us back in that situation where maybe we were cheated on or someone else was chosen or whatever it is, and that's the message. Is like, hey, this person's gone. Everyone can heal and grieve in their own ways and move forward. The only foolish thing would be to get over here scrapping for something that spiritually, it's done. You can choose to connect to this person as you want in your own way and have your relationship with them now. I don't see that things would change too much. I think in this particular case, things played out pretty much as they were going to play out. And maybe if your partner was completely different on their soul level, the ex-partner, then they would have chosen something different. But yeah, so it's like, just don't let it make you step back in your growth cycle. And also, you might see people that have been involved, mutuals or ex-mutuals, that they flourish and they're learning and they're growing, and they might get a lot of love and support out of going through this loss, and that could be frustrating. But Spirit is saying, hey, you're two different people. All souls can reconnect and, be healed, release trauma, kind of have their karma cleared. So don't worry so much about what the other people are doing, and don't let them try it if they do, because I do feel, again, some people, they're going to try to be shady, send a little message, or maybe you're still having to try to navigate around them if you both got a child by this person, and you're trying to let the siblings be together and learn how to grieve. But at the end of the day, don't let anything stand in the way of your own personal grieving that you need to do, okay? So that's what I'm seeing. I hope this was helpful for you. Yeah, and again, I'm sorry for your loss. I just hope it was helpful because I needed some of this release myself. So that was my intention. So please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you want to. This is safe space. And I'll talk to you again on another one. Get that tree down here. All right. So for those who chose option 2 with Tulip Seashell, we're going to, well, welcome to your reading. We're going to channel in messages from your person, having all the groups gotten their collective energies together. We're going to look at any messages they want to say first and give them a lot of different areas that they can speak up on different things. We're going to do charms and dice for more particular messages because different spirits like to communicate, you know, some through words, some through different things, and also that might help you get your signs and symbols from this person. You know, some people get it better from charms, from cards, that kind of thing. We're also going to, after that, look at the past situation. If you're still needing some closure, if there's still some frustrating things, we'll look at what the situation was, and then we will look at you know, could it have played out differently? And what do you guys' spirit crews say about what happened? And did they have other plans? Could your free wills have been, you know, drastically different than they ended up playing out? That kind of thing. So I will give you a warning before we move into that part, because I know some people, they might not want to rehash those things at this time. I really relate to pacing ourselves and going through the levels of grief as we can. So if at any moment you feel overwhelmed, please feel free to pause it. You know, you can bookmark it, come back later, months later if you need to, so that you're in a healthy space, or you're able to feel, you know, safe, safely process whatever we're talking about here, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the oracle first. We're asking with the protection of our good spirit crews in a good way, with all honesty, accuracy, and clarity, for the ex-loves now past, ex-partners now past, for those who chose Tulip Seashell, B2 to come through with our messages that we're going to have here through all of these divination sources. Okay. Any other flipped over? No? Okay, I'll go with that one. Alright, we have index cards here that I have channeled out previously. I spent a lot of time doing that. Just whatever Spirit told me to write down, so we can give them some talking points. This one wants a little extra, so someone said they were a little extra, okay? All right, so let's take a look here. It's a little tight space how I did it, but that's all right. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't do the tarot. I was like, why do I feel like I don't have a full conversation? Tarot. To round out your sentences and words, please excuse. Okay. I feel like when this person talked, it's like they couldn't get the words out fast enough, or maybe some of them had trouble getting their words out, and I'm seeing that for like eating. Maybe they were like that too. It's like trying to put it all in their mouth and they can't get it. They just feel like they can't eat fast enough, or they feel like they try to take a bite and like some salad's falling out because the angle hit wrong. All right, here we go. That feels better. So we have water signs here. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They could have had strong water, sun, moon, or rising, or in their chart, or you could be a water sign and they could be acknowledging that. There could have been a lot of emotion that has been kind of spiraling around. There could have been significant water when they passed. They could have passed near water, in water. It could have rained. Like I said, I felt to put rain on, rain specifically thunderstorm today. Um, There's like a lot of eyes on them, a lot of eyes on them. So they could have been someone that a lot of people went to for emotional concerns, the one that all their friends talked to. Even if they were from like a tough crew, like they were the one that everyone else would still come to and communicate with. I do get just a big water moon. Maybe their moon was in a house of water, fourth house, eighth house, 12th house. We have number 25. So for some of you, that could have been the age they passed. And we have 7 here, so 2, 5, or 7 could be significant. We have the Knight of Pentacles reverse. So this person feels like they're very feeling based. They feel like they left work undone, and that could bother them. They also I also feel like they don't quite resonate with their physical body anymore. So we'll see throughout the rest of the conversation, but they might be a spirit who doesn't dwell at their grave too much, or maybe they're just, there could have been some concerns about how their body was laid to rest. Maybe people had different ideas about, what should be done with their body once they passed. Let's see what they say. I've never not loved you. So whether in body or not, this person has never felt like they didn't love you. Even if you guys had fought and they had said differently, I feel like I feel like they felt you before they saw you. And as a water sign and a water dominant person, I totally get that. Like there's been times with, certain special people that before I even turn around and meet them, like my energy is already feeling them around the corner. And I just know, oh shoot, I'm about to love this person. I already love them. I can just feel it. So this person definitely felt love at first sight with you, and feels like you guys are just on your own kind of continuum, whether you're in body or not. And they definitely have taken a lot of the emotional charges and highs and lows into their spirit life with them. Sometimes in spirit we kind of leave that behind, but they are still very emotionally connected to you. So sweet. Okay, we have the sun. So there could be Leos involved for sure. And I've seen the Ace of Cups. So water signs, again, very emotional energy between you two. They've definitely been with you if you've been crying, if you've been sad, if you've been having a hard time processing things, for sure. Some of you, physically, you just felt like you fell apart, at least at one point, since you've heard this news, since this has happened. They definitely want to bring you kind of those sunshiny days, and let you know that there's going to be positives coming out. They could have been someone who was a great hugger, who just warmed up the room, again, who everyone just kind of orbited around, who people felt like they could trust. We got this in the last one. It said it would have worked. I was dumb. Okay, we have 31, so that could have been an age that they passed or your age now. 3 and 1 or 4 could be significant. Yeah, they could have sun and water. Oops, I almost said Leo. I'm mixing up. I'm getting ahead of myself. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or they could have sun and fire, because there's a fire glyph there, Leo, Aries, Sag. And they might have fire, water dominant, because I kept wanting to say like Leo, Cancer, Aries, like mix up the fire and water. But they admit that they definitely, I mean, look, literally never not loved you. Ace of Cups with the sun. Some of you might have a son, a child together, or you could have known each other since you were young, and they're saying like, since we were kids, I have always loved you. But they do admit that they did something dumb and messed up the connection, hence the X in the reading, right? Oh, I love this when I'm doing readings for those who have crossed over the universe. So they're like, yes, look at that. And again, we do have fire energy here and water. Um, they are having a blast. Look for symbols of me that I'm leaving around. So we also got that in the last group. Maybe some of you were drawn to more than one, or this group of spirits wants to say the same thing. But this group they're having a good time. They've been able to cross over. They can travel everywhere. They're figuring out or re-remembering, we should say, secrets of the universe. They might have had other past life afterworlds opened up to them. Literally, when I see this, it's like shooting star, three of wands through the universe, and they got the three of wands. So I feel like for some of them, they could be showing you cosmic things. I'm noticing her hand up, like the Hierophant, and that looks like a hand there. So they could be kind of your mentor and guide in certain things now, dropping mad wisdom for you, because they're saying look for the symbols. You might find keys lying around. You might see things with hands, handprints, hamsas, um, kind of like I told the last group, and this happens sometimes where when we I'm recording this live on YouTube, but unlisted, which means no one can see it but me. But sometimes you'll see someone else viewing it, even though it's like completely private, and someone gave this a thumbs up, but it only shows that I'm viewing it. So, like, that is a hand, right? A hand up. So, you might see symbols and synchronicities like that coming through. You could see koi fish. Wow. We have stars. You could see polka dots. Some of you could have a connection with polka dots, maybe from a certain style that you or this person wore. Yeah, there is hierophant energy here. You could see, maybe you guys were into like the Matrix or something, so there could be something about that. We have the number 10, so 0 or 1 as well. Oh my gosh, I love this. They are having a really good time. Okay, we have release. There's a lot of cards with his 6 of Cups reverse. So some of you are having a hard time. I think they're acknowledging, that we had this soulmate thing going on, and you know one or both of us were not good at that. Could have been them. They're acknowledging that the breakup had to happen. For some of you, it was better for kids, or it's better to not waste your youth trying to parent this person or figure it out. You guys could grow better separately. Let's see what else that they have to say here. For some of them, they passed in autumn. There could be some kind of a significant time that you had in autumn. This is Scorpio energy, so they could be Scorpio again. Um, they could be Libra or Sagittarius, or you could. It says they love you too. Don't avoid them. So you could be avoiding some other people from your soul group. Maybe when it ended with you and your ex, it ended very badly. And so you were just like, screw the whole friend group or whatever. And, they're in the spiritual world looking, and they're doing pretty good over there. And they're like, man, they're part of your soul group too. Like you're missing your soul tribe. And some of these people are it. Like, so maybe also when you're grieving, you don't want to join in with others for memorials or to talk about it, or, someone gave you the news and you just kind of isolated yourself. Again, no judgment, because I'm going through a similar thing this year, but which is why I'm doing this video again. But they're saying in this case, your person doesn't want you to do that. They really want you to understand that these people love you, even if their grief's weird, or even if in the past things had, not been healed or went down really messy. They don't want you to avoid them. Wow. So yeah, they are admitting here with this release, things could have gotten bad with y'all. It says, don't romanticize who I was, please. I own the real me. In order for them to have this enlightenment, shooting around, it's not because they got away with something. It's because they had to do their life review. They had to admit their mistakes. They had to, come clean spiritually and get their scales balanced, kind of thing. So they don't want you to feel like you have to only see them in a good way or only talk about them in a nice way. Certain people's traditions doesn't make room for clarifying who somebody was. There's like once they pass, you don't say anything ill of them, or and it's seen as a taboo, or something. But they're saying no, don't feel like you have to cover up for me. Especially those who they're saying like, no, you had to release me for a reason. Like I was being a jerk. I was acting messed up. Some of them didn't take care of their kids. Yep, look, I should have said I'm sorry. Wow. So they definitely have a regret. Yeah, and to some of them, that's to their children too. Or it could have been a long time coming that they should have said that to you. Okay, so yeah, don't feel like you have to be mad at the people who did try to understand them and love them. Sometimes when you get frustrated, you feel like they chose wrong, they should have sided with me, and they were trying to understand this person and love them. They're trying to help them grow or something. If those people are people that could be loving on you too, but also don't feel like you have to kiss this person's butt. They said I should have told you I'm sorry. We have flexibility. There could be tigers. They could have been born year of the tiger, or you could have, or maybe there was a child that was born year of the tiger, or a best friend or something. There could be something with that, or big cats. We did have Leo energy. Flexibility. Oh my gosh, with the Two of Pentacles, which is literally about flexibility, and it usually has the luminoscape of continuity. So we have a fish and a rabbit. So someone could have been born year of the rabbit as well. Someone could be Pisces. Yeah, they don't want you to be too rigid. I'll send them to you. I'll send them to you. So whether it's these friends that they previously mentioned, or whoever it was that they don't want you to miss out on loving, whether it is, some of you might have, said, hey, since you're up there, do me a solid, I'm ready to have a kid, so make sure my child gets to me safely. Or, hey, tell my dad to contact with me. I haven't heard him from the other side. If you have, a loved one that already passed away. So whatever this means to you, you will know what this connection means. You'll definitely know when it happens if you didn't request it, but they said that they will send them to you. For some of you, they are showing that they're flexible and that there's no hard feelings by even sending your soulmate and helping them get to you. Also, for some of you, it is business contracts and things of that nature, or contacts that they are helping to come in to make your life good. So whatever it is that hasn't been balanced, if you've been doing really good in business but your love life you've been needing support, or if you've been doing really good in love life and family but the business needs support, they're trying to help you balance it out. But they want you to be flexible, and they want you to be open to receiving these things from them, this help, because they're saying, I'm woke, I got it, I was really dumb, I figured it out. Miracles. You might see rainbows. You could definitely see rainbows, and you might see strange reflections in the stars or the night sky that are from this person. Light flares and things. Okay, we have the Death card. You might have seen something like that when they passed, and they're saying, yes, I'm really gone. And they could have left a lot of mess to clean up behind. It says there really are no excuses, just human mistakes and bad choices. So again, they're really trying to say, I'm sorry in this. I loved you, always loved you. I've never not loved you. And, I apologize. And there's no excuses for what I did, how I acted when I fell short. It was just me being a dumb. Lord, say, I'm dumb. I was dumb, made mistakes, I made bad choices. And so I definitely feel like there's some cleanup that some of you guys have to do, whether emotionally, literally, physically. And I feel like they're very grateful for that. I feel like it's a miracle. It's a miracle that it's ironic we say it's a miracle that we make it out alive, but they feel like it's a miracle that they transitioned through their death so well. That they were able to. And so a lot of that could come from the fact that you guys have been very forgiving and loving and compassionate for things, because you understood that this person, for those of you who have applies, I feel like there's where you understood this person wasn't trying to just be a bad person, but they just made really bad mistakes, bad choices. Maybe they didn't know how to heal. Maybe they didn't have the emotional intelligence yet. And so you were able to heal and find closure yourself and kind of let them go and release. And you didn't hold karma for everything for them. And so they were able to heal. And some of you, it's okay, you said, well, I'm not, I'm still feeling like I'm the cleanup crew and I haven't been able to let go of everything yet. I just haven't. And they're saying it might feel like a miracle, but you will, just like they have been able to release themselves. I feel like their energy will get brighter and it will feel more fulfilled if you are able to do that. But they're not, they're apologizing, but they're not trying to force forgiveness in that case, because they're really admitting, like, I get it, like, I was really hurtful. And they're not going to excuse themselves, but their energy, does increase when they're able to feel that love, and kind of be released from that spiritually, that any karmic contract. So it has been helping them. If you've been working on releasing karmic contracts and stuff with them, and cutting cords to any heaviness and things of that nature, it's definitely been helping their process for sure. And that's why they want to return it, and say, please be flexible and accept this from me, because I would love to return the favor again, and thanks that you're helping make my transition in the afterworld better, All right, so let's go ahead and look at some letters and charms, but let's do letters first. Any words, names, things of that nature that were significant then or now from this person. Oops. That's what I have there. All right. So, any person, please let us know for group Tulip, Seashell, you 2. And messages, let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing that A on the side too. I definitely have some of my indigenous people watching it, because I just keep hearing Hoka over and over. And I'm seeing Lakota here. So there was the A on the side right there. So you guys know what that means, if that applies. Okay. Let's see, we have no. Yeah, and then I'm getting no, and then mine, which of course for me jumps me right to no pipelines. All right, so maybe this was somebody who's been out here fighting a good fight with you. Okay, some of you have there's shoes. Maybe you got new shoes. Maybe this person was always about their shoes. I'm also seeing what reminds me of otter here, or it could be Otto. Maybe someone's name's Otto. Okay. Maybe Hun. Some of you call them Hun or Honey, or they called you a lot. Seeing that over here. Okay, some of them were stoners. Okay, some of them always would get stoned. Maybe you're like, I think they're connecting to me when I'm when I'm over here. Some of you, your name is Lynn, or their name was Lynn. I'm like, there could be Lon or Lonnie. There could be Hillary. Tots. Some of you could have a toddler. There could also be like Coda, Cody, something like that. Codis, some kind of name like that. Maybe some of you would always borrow their coat. I see letters here, but it, psychically it tunes me into other things. Sorry, the letters we have are LINOEHSTOKE. All right, we have 3 O's, 2 E's. I feel like this person was very strong with their likes and their dislikes. For some of you, they like to hike. For some of you, it was a whole thing that they really didn't, so it would stand out as important. Yeah, I feel like they had an opinion for most things, from their socks to, whatever it is. If something was fun, they were all in. Some of them, they like scary movies, or again, it was a strong dislike that they absolutely wouldn't watch them with you. There could be something with honking a horn. Maybe some of them were truck drivers, or they thought it was funny to honk a horn to scare someone, or they were road ragers and they would honk the horn, or even hearing honking. You could have even be hearing like geese honking, or some kind of significance with honking. Maybe it said tots, like toddlers have those little horns on the bike. Something with that for some of you. I'm definitely getting steak. So this person could have, if you're vegan or vegetarian, this person could have been like always teasing you, like, ooh, I want some steak. I just want some meat. I'm gonna eat some carne asada, whatever it is. There could be, or maybe you teased them if they were the one who wasn't so much of a meat eater. Um, or y'all were the vegans and everyone teased y'all. There could have been something like that going on. There could be a tie to Oklahoma here. Okay, there could be a tie to Ohio here. I'm getting Sri Lanka. Um, Toronto. I'm starting to get place names here. Okay, I guess let me grab the place cards. I didn't do this for the first group, but I feel to do it. So let's put these aside. Thank you for that. Could be Greek, sane. Maybe they had some mental health struggles. Toe, there could be something with their toe. Maybe they had broken their toe or hurt their foot. East, maybe they were from the east, the Middle East, East Band, something of that nature. Okay, so go ahead and go back and screenshot that, and you can see what letters are there. Yeah, Greece is jumping out. So for some of you, maybe they knew Greek, or they like to eat Greek food, or they're from Greece. Okay. Des Moines. I almost said Iowa too, because a lot of people always call Iowa Ohio. Like they mix up Ohio, Idaho, and Iowa. So if I see one of those names in a reading, I usually just say all three because people mix them up. Water, again, connection to water. Could have been a water sign. We got Colorado, Tunisia, which has come up a few times, Vietnam. So you guys could have been Vietnamese maybe, or they had went to Vietnam. Maybe they were in, their family was like connected to wars or something. Let's see, what else do we have? Connecting mainland. So maybe they were specifically not islanders. We have hills, the northeast. Let's see, New Zealand, Georgia. For some of you, they could have, they, might be a select few, but they could have been like Maori, Samoan, something of that nature. And then we have Dublin, so they could have been Irish or tied to Dublin, Ireland in some way. Boston. All right. So something about maybe their homeland. We also have Thailand that wants to come out as well. So that could be their heritage. It could be your heritage. Maybe travel was a big thing for your connection. We're going to go ahead and draw charms. It's going to be loud for a moment. Charms, please. Communicating here with your person. Who it speak to. Okay, I feel like they needed to go a little further here. There we go. I just got like whaling. Some of them, maybe they did like traditional canoeing, or yeah, like Keats. So they could have had a sacred tie to whales, or they could have done modern kind of whaling, or been connected to where whales are. They could have really loved your lips. Yeah, for sure. We got the rose and the lips. So they could have had a very beautiful mouth, or they were always drawn with your mouth. They might have always wanted to kiss you, connect with you. I think they felt like they were always, maybe they felt like they were always childish. Maybe everyone kind of felt that about them, or they were just, children were super drawn to them all the time. We have Virgo. We have Gemini here. We have a letter J coming out. Um, Again, we have them setting off sounds. So for some of them, it's not honking. It could be sirens. It could be chimes. It could be notifications. You might keep going back to your phone and being like, why do I keep having notifications? Like, there's no notifications on here. I turn the sound off. How am I still getting notifications? And it's them literally, oh my gosh, jingle bells. And there's a notification here. We have Cancer, so they could be Cancer or you could. We literally have sound. So you might have sound just turn on or music start playing and you can't figure out how it's even playing or how it did that. They definitely felt your love. You have the key to their heart here, even though they felt chipped and bruised. You came in and offered them very pure love. They were also super sensually attracted to you and felt that you could I mean, you could pull them in at any time. They did try to clean up their act from your influence, whether that showed up or not, because they were pretty mischievous. And for some of you who this humor would apply to your person, it's kind of like a chuckle, like, man, lucky I'm not in hell. Like, they had that kind of humor, okay? Maybe they're fire signs or something, Aries, Sag, they can have that kind of humor, Scorpio, where they're like, lucky I'm out here traveling the universe, okay? I thought I was going to be hot there for a minute. So some of them had that kind of like, nope, I'm pretty cool. So if you guys had had some kind of jokes or conversation about that, or that would have applied. If not, you're probably mortified, but I have to say it. I do feel like for some of you, this person could be very crude or raunchy when they were, you know, they might like to tease you and just like woo, like fake cat call at you or whatever. If you guys were like gonna be intimate, just say, oh, you're looking good. They might have liked you in kind of racy things or have liked to wear that for you. And they might have been like, you put a spell on me, or, sex with you is addicting, or, just felt very addicted to your energy. But they were definitely super stubborn. For some of them, they had Aries Taurus combos in their chart. They could be, again, very tied to the earth or like their homeland or wherever that they were connected to. And they did have a contract with you to kind of get you outside of your bubble, or if they were the super introvert, you were there to get them outside of theirs. Some of you were very contrasting people and meant to the wild one was meant to shake up and get the introvert out of their bubble, and the introverted one was meant to bring some kind of common sense and calming to the wild one. Okay, I think I said Virgo is here, but no, they felt it. I mean, you guys, two hearts right there, and the key heart here, and love there. Your love grew another love. So whether it was friends around you felt the love that came from you two, or whether you created a project, a business, a foundation, a child through this love, a lot of you did see something spring forward out of it. You could have created art that was inspired from this love connection. But there definitely was brokenheartedness. So they could have been very chill and try to just stay, super relaxed about it. But if you thought that, oh, they didn't even care, it didn't even hurt them, that's not true at all. They had a lot of questions. Over here by the Gemini charm, there's why. They definitely try to figure out why they were the way they were too, or why you were the way you were, why things couldn't be more fluid. Because you guys had a very deep soul akashic contract here, a very sensual sexual connection here. Um, wow. But something just prevented. I feel like sometimes they would even be about to reach out, but their guides or your guides would interfere because maybe it wouldn't have been best for their mental or emotional health, or it wouldn't have been best for yours, or if there was a child involved, it's like they didn't need to get caught in the midst of all this right now, or maybe there was even like a close friend that was, sometimes third party situations are kind of unintentional, and there's a mutual friend who there's heartbreak here and there's a lot of heart. So maybe your friend had always loved this person and thought they would get them, but you and that person fell in love. And so it's like, how do we navigate this and talk and connect without hurting someone that we do care about? And making, you know, endangering their mental and emotional health. So for some of you, there was some kind of strange things like that where you just decided to be very compassionate to those around you and sacrifice your connection. Some of you, it was to go take care of a parent, a sibling, maybe even just others. You know, you decided to go focus on being a doctor, a nurse, a healer. So for some of you, there was a lot of sacrifice that was done. And if this person didn't appreciate that about you while they were here, I feel like they're really acknowledging that they appreciate it. And as I look up, I see 303 and I'm seeing 88. So if those numbers are significant to you. All right. Hibiscus could also be significant. Could be Jamaica. Could be significant here. And family. I feel like they find it important that you keep family around you, and or have people who are like family around you, and don't take that for granted. If you've been frustrated with your own family, your kids, your close friends, they want you to keep people close to you, right? And don't feel like you can just do it yourself. They might relate to that because some of them were stubborn and overly independent and kind of tore up their connections to others, okay? Or they were the one who always had the connections and you had that tendency and they had to remind you of that, you know, when they were alive, to not just burn bridges with everyone. If you could cool them down and clean them off. Okay, so now we're going to get to the part of the reading that if you don't want to rehash over the past and that's not where you are in your healing journey, then I will let you know this heads up so you can go ahead and click off. And I appreciate it so much, you coming through. And again, I'm sorry for your loss and I wish you well in your healing journey. You can comment below. This is safe space. Please hit the like. You can share if you feel like this was helpful for someone else. Um, if you are wanting to hear this, we're going to see what the cards say about the past situation, in case anything can be clarified for you. And then we will also pull in some 5 suited playing cards, and we will look at, could there have been other options? Were there other destinies? You know, did your spirit cruise want to have something else develop between you guys? Just to kind of answer those questions and help us throughout all the different phases of the grieving process, okay? So we're going to start now. What was this relationship and situation with our person who chose group 2B, Tulip, Seashell, and their person, their ex who is now passed? Okay. Did it fall all the way down? It sure did. It's hard to see the black cards when you pull them here. Like, I'm seeing the letter P down here that fell, so if that is significant for you guys, letter P. Okay, we have the Two of Cups reversed. There could have been a broken engagement for some of you, or this person could have chosen the wrong person to try to pursue a soulmate connection with. We have the Page of Cups. So yeah, this could be a broken engagement for sure for some of you. Ace of Wands reversed. Could have been cheating, stepping outside of the connection. We have Eight of Pentacles. The High Priestess. So some of you have definitely gone to readers, mediums, healers, or you've done that yourself with your gifts to figure things out about this. Some of you have definitely paid other people though. Some of you have even done some kind of house cleansing, so they're acknowledging that, like, man, you really just tried to do the exorcist on me and get me out of here. Like, wow. I feel like some of them are like that. Wow, you really did. You just try to have your witchy friend come over and smoke me out. Yeah, they're saying you're super woke for sure. And I think that for you, you were like, okay, like in game, you need to be full-fledged partner ready. And if you are my, you know, fiance or um, my spouse, like, you need to be up on that game. You know, if we got kids together, or, you know, we were building a life, we got business together, home together, like, why aren't we winning in this? Like, why there shouldn't be games being played, right? We have the Worlds, we have Death reversed, and the Ace of Pentacles. um, Ten of Pentacles, the Moon, Yeah, so some of you guys, you had a full-fledged life together. It wasn't anything casual at all. And I feel like most people here, or it was really going there. Again, there looks like there was a ring, there was an offer, there was a relationship. Now, for some of you, this person was your affair. Okay, so you were already settled in with somebody, and this person came out of nowhere, and you were like, oh my gosh, I didn't marry my soulmate. I married a life partner, or someone that I had other contracts with, and now I've found my soulmate. Like, this is my person. So I do feel like for a few of you with the moon here, this was some an affair that no one, that it could be hard for you to grieve because nobody knows it happened. So how you can't talk about it to the mutual friends you share with your spouse, or to your kids, or to anyone, because this was something that happened and then you broke it off. Um, and my heart hurts for you too. With, I mean, we're not here for judgment on things, especially when talking about loss. I feel like, you know, it was almost like you were astonished, like almost like it was a surprise that they ended up being in the same lifetime with you. Like, whoa, wait, I didn't think, with all as much as I know, and I know a lot, I'm holding the Akashic records. Like, I didn't think that you were going to be here this lifetime. I married somebody else, right? Or maybe they felt this way. And it was almost like, in a way, it's like you knew you guys were gonna lose each other at some point, and so you couldn't say no to each other. Um, Maybe you didn't think like that, but I do feel like you guys have, you know, the marks of the full-fledged psychic in here. So some of you, you did sense that you would lose them, and so you said, you know what, like, current vows be danged. I can't say no to you. Like, I know that I know one of us isn't going to be here long. I can just sense it. And so um, you guys risked it all. You risked it all. And then at some point you did cut it off. And yeah, so, and you know what I've been saying is our grieving process is our own. Um, you can't change actions that were taken in the past, and hurting current partners because of this. Some of you, you weren't with a partner when you were with this person, and they weren't either, but it's a huge major relationship that you never told your current spouse about, or they hadn't told their other spouse about. And so you might feel like, well, I don't know how I can kind of grieve them and process, because to find out more and connect with them, or to go to their burial site, I would have to let their spouse know who I am. And they never, maybe their spouse thought that they were the biggest soulmate, and that the other person had never been in love before or something. Or maybe your spouse thinks that, or your current, partner that you have. So I do feel like for a lot of you, there are some, just situationships going on that make it hard to just proclaim out loud to everybody in your day-to-day life what's going on. And for some of you, it's not even that something, so-called shady happened or whatever. It's just like, it was just so personal. Some of you could be Scorpio for sure. There's strong Scorpio energy here, Pisces, Cancer. There's also strong Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. A little bit of fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. And so for some of you, it's just, you just feel like it's nobody's business, and it makes it so hard to talk about, because you feel like you're so tender-hearted, and you feel like this is so sacred and so sad and so difficult, that you almost want to just compartmentalize it from your day-to-day life, because you don't want anything to ruin that or harm it. Or you might feel like, yeah, I already know the stuff that's, that was whack about it, and I already know that it's like this person's gone, so I don't know how to talk about it with someone else, because I don't want anyone else to touch us. I don't want anyone else to be a part of what we were. So who do I talk to that could understand? It feels like that when you are, um, when you're truly lovers with somebody. It feels like, how can anyone understand what it was like to be us, to feel what we felt? And so I feel like, you guys might try to counsel yourself. And I do feel like a lot of you, you will do good in that. But some of you, it's saying it's really important that you do reach out, okay? Some of you have done a lot of healing process and you're doing well. And like right now, when you sense yourself not, you're checking in with it. And maybe you do have, for some of you, a partner that you can trust and that you can say, hey, this is what's going on. I know it's awkward, but you know, and it's not to make you feel like a loser or subpar, but you know, I found out that someone very important to me from my past passed away, and I have to, like, this affects me, right? But I do see that a good portion of you maybe, some of you might be really young too, and so it's like everyone knows in your community this person passed, but maybe like your parents don't know that you and this person had been low-key engaged, or that you were gonna go elope with this person, or that you had been dating. Maybe your religions or spiritual beliefs didn't allow for the kind of intimacy that you guys had. So maybe there was different classism, or you know, there was arranged marriages for some people, and you know, there was reasons why someone might have been married or promised or engaged, but then this love situation happened. Okay. So for most of you, I feel like this was just it was just kind of like time and situation tore you guys apart. And there could have been that sense of betrayal, a lack of actual love. I think somebody had to, it felt like, you know, tearing their own body apart to, if they had to say no to this connection. If they had to, you know, go with their obligations and things of that nature, whether it was, you know, family, kids, maybe they had to choose work because they were providing for family overseas, or, you know, maybe they really, their, again, spiritual beliefs could have played into it. If they already had certain vows they felt they had to honor. So yeah, these are the things that I'm seeing come up, the themes. And I do feel like a lot of this was replaying layers on layers of past lifetimes, and maybe even stuff you already knew as it was happening, like we're going to meet again and we're going to have to work this out in another lifetime kind of feeling. But I do feel like they're very physically around you, and you might feel them emotionally and almost even intimately around you. Okay, so let's look and see, could things have been different? Yeah, that Ace of Pentacles. If you left something at their grave, which is what this looks like, or if you put something in memorial of them, some of you could have been like drawn something, you did something artistic, or you went out, you know, in the woods or in the yard or something, you planted something for them, laid something for them. They are acknowledging that. Okay. All right, for group 2B, with the Tulip Seashell, was there anything different? What were the plans that their soulmates had with their ex who has passed away? Or sorry, excuse me, that their spirit crews had, the ancestors, guides? Could things have turned out differently? Are things as was expected? All of the spiritual information, please let us know. Alright, definitely we have that soulmate vibe here. For some of you, could have been a bit younger soulmates where, yeah, they're saying younger soulmates, meaning that maybe you haven't had that many lifetimes you could really grow and like be together. Again, it seems to be this repeating pattern where something pulls you away, almost kind of like the Romeo and Juliet connection. Even for those of you that this did end up being your spouse, it just seems maybe it seemed untimely when they got pulled away, or it was just almost painful or scary to be away from each other sometimes, because you just always wanted to just drink this person in because you felt that they would be gone from you again. hmm Yeah, I mean, I do see that, as was touched on earlier, they look very triumphant in the spirit world. It looks like they completed what they were meant to here. Yeah, they did really, really, really well, for what they were set to learn. And I think you were one of the people that really helped them along the path, even through the tough times. If there was, you know, the rejection and separation, things that happened here. And again, there was always this love here that they held for you, and this love that helped them get through, no matter how many people got involved in the situation, no matter how bad it got. And with the Five of Stars, it's came out with the last option too. It's like, you know, we did expect some strife, we expected some obstacles, just as much as we expected success for your person, is what their spirit crew is saying. You know, but you were one of the main people they wanted around this person as they had to grow, learn their lessons, do better. Okay. Yeah, yeah, and it was known that at some point there would have to be this separation, even though you guys would be like two peas in a pod in some way. But it looks like their whole path was very fulfilled because we have so many of the star suit, which is the spirit suit in this deck, how it connects and meets with me. You definitely still get a lot of messages from this person in the spirit realm. They don't want you to be afraid of that. I feel like even this person's guides are still connected with you. Their ancestors could be connected and blessing with you, because we had the Ten of Stars and we have one of their major patrons coming through, or one of their major ancestors. So I think that they're confirming. So they've taken you under their wing. They see your grief, and I think it's very precious to them that you care about this person. They want you to be happy. They want you to feel loved. If it was another time, maybe some of you would have had children with this person, or had something more developed with them. Some of you could, you know, we're in a general reading, you could have had a child with this person. Let's see what they're saying here. I think this person's going to reincarnate in the same family. So if you are still, they're going to wait a little bit. Somebody is going to get pregnant a little later in life. They might think that they're not going to get pregnant. So if they have like a sister or an aunt who's always like, I'm not having kids, that's probably who's going to get pregnant. And it's going to be this person coming back. But yeah, they are seen as being very successful with this life journey. I think their spirit crew, their ancestors really like you. It's like they check on you. They check on you, they're around you. You might feel like they're your own guides almost, or you might feel like, you know, is someone around? Is someone talking to me? They might guide you through your readings. They've been a little bit shy, a little bit sneaky about it, because maybe they thought that you would freak out and be like, be gone, right? But it seems like your ancestors okay it. So yeah, the deities and spirits of their people are very much connected with you. Yeah, and if you are pregnant, or if you will be on a journey of having children or finding a spouse yourself, maybe some of you are remarrying, and you know, maybe some of you had married this person and then separated, and then they had passed, and so it's like just confusing, like, man, a divorce but yet a widow or widower kind of vibe. They are encouraging you to keep putting your love out there, keep confessing your love. In this situation, it looks like this is what was meant to be. And in most realities, the same decisions would end up having to be made, or would have been made. But overall, this person has a very successful karmic energy, with a lot of lessons that they did learn and figure out there at the end. They hit like all the different notes. I think they kind of accelerated, actually, and with your help, past what was expected for them for this lifetime to achieve. Kind of like if you go into a game and you're like, okay, I'm just trying to hit this jackpot mystery box, right? And that's just what I want. But then you get all of these other hidden secret rewards throughout the level. It's like they did a lot more. And again, their spirit crew is saying it's with your help too, with the lessons that were provided, maybe with your spiritual growth and the energy you were able to transmute. That was there. So I do think you're well favored, and I do think that you have got some good blessings and karma in the situation. And even if you're like, what? I'm still mad, I can't stand this person, I did good. I think they understand human emotions, but they, you know, they see beyond that also to, you know, the real heart of the situation, and the lessons you help them learn. So yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for group 2. I hope that was helpful. I wish you so much peace and healing on your journey. We've been up, look, I've been up doing these late lives by myself, these long videos. So please, please let me know by your watch time. Well, this one, watch only how much you can, but you know, that's always helpful. The watch time, sharing, liking, commenting. Yes, I appreciate y'all, and I wish you so well in your journey. And again, I'm sorry for your loss. But I will see you again on another one. Bye. All right, last pile for those who chose Blue Lace Agate. I'm so grateful for the support of all y'all's spirit crews coming through, because it's helping me be present and, you know, available for this reading, because this is a subject that I'm doing. You know, sometimes I feel something on my heart because Spirit's like, hey, do this. And sometimes I'm feeling something myself as a human. And I say, look, let me go ahead and do a video so we can have some good medicine, some good healing balm for anyone else who might also be needing that right now. So I'm grateful for this space, and me knowing with how awesome you are, Divine Rebels, on this channel, that I could bring this content. And even if it wasn't for you, you would hold space for others who need this, including myself. So I really appreciate it. And for those of you who are here for the loss of a person, whether or not you got along with this ex, I am sorry for your loss, because I know it is not easy to grieve or figure out if we want to grieve, or be mad because we have to grieve, or, you know, that we still cared about that person, or maybe we still love them very much. So we're going to go through and get some messages from your person. We have a variety of oracles and tarots and an index card I channeled and took some time to channel earlier and wrote down what came through the spirit realms. We also have some letter dice, some charms, and then I'll give you guys a heads up before we go into readings about your past connection with this person, and could things have been different. And that's just in case some people are not wanting to go, you know, rehash things. I did want to kind of split it up. Some people might want to hear, you know, messages from the other side now, but not really want to go back into the past. So I will give you a heads up before we really go into that intentionally with the cards. So let's go ahead, calling in good spirit crews of you and your ex love who has passed. With all honesty, accuracy, and clarity. Ex partner who has passed. Messages channel in here for those who chose 3C, Blue Lace Agate. Okay. No, okay. And let's see. I looked up and I saw 1111. We also have a phantom like on this video, y'all. I liked it myself because I always automatically like when I'm doing a video. But I have this on unlisted so no one else can see it, technically. Now I'm seeing 1122, but there's an additional like on it. So if that is significant to you, could be them watching it from internet land, I suppose. It could be internet land people watching it. Anyways, okay. Next wave. Messages from your person. Alright, what you would like to say? Go ahead and let us know. Let your person know. I'm hearing the song Contradictions by Molly Music and Janae Aiko, and it's very ironic. I will tell you the lyrics of the song. They say, if you say that it's over, I won't die. If you say that it's over, I won't die. I'll just come back for more. We'll meet again, I'm sure. If you say that it's over, I won't die. And the song is called Contradictions, so you might want to take a listen to that. Um, and they say you don't have to say it's over, you don't have to say it's over, it just comes back to you, just comes back to you. So um, see how that song resonates with you. And this person could definitely plan on being around you energetically or coming back and meeting in a different lifetime with you. So let's see what they have to say here. Oh, I keep doing that. Let's add the rest of the sentence here for them, the conversation with the tarot. All right. Lungs. This person could have passed by something with their lungs, is possible. It is a general read, but they could have had something constricting their airways or have something, disease of the lungs. They could have needed to be on a respirator, inhaler. They could have had something that they maybe they smoked for, to relieve pain, something of that nature. Maybe they did marijuana to help with pain, or maybe from tobacco, smoking tobacco, they had some issues that might not apply to everybody. For some of you, they have felt that you've been feeling like you can't breathe. Oh gosh, I hope they didn't pass through the systemic violence that we've been seeing reoccurring. We've seen it echo here in 2020, because I can't breathe, of course, is a phrase for a reason. So for some of you, they could have passed through police brutality, violence, things of that nature. Again, I'm so sorry. But for some of you, you've been having where you feel you can't breathe. You're having panic attacks, or you just internalize a slow stress that kind of shuts down your chest, okay? And they are sympathizing and feeling sad to see you go through that grief and that stress, okay? Even sometimes when it's not about grieving them, I feel like they feel that pain. They could have known also that they caused you a lot of stress and anxiety when they were here. We have number 8 being significant. We have 10 of Wands reversed, and they say cut the cords. Wow, very cohesive message. So yeah, for some of you, they're saying you're starting off right away. They might have other messages, but they're saying no, go ahead and cut the cords. Like, I know this needs to happen as well. And maybe some of you are afraid to cut the cords because you're like, well, how will they come back and connect with me if I do that? But even with someone who's currently alive with us, cutting cords doesn't mean that we will be completely detached and they'll just disappear from our life, like, an astronaut whose lifeline we cut off. It does mean that we will cut the baggage and the negative, any toxic energy in the connection, and we will be able to reestablish our aura, our energetic boundaries, and they can go and establish theirs, okay? So if you have been afraid to cut someone off, even if it's not them, someone else you're having to deal with during their passing, or even just something else that's really been burdening you, and you feel like this ex-love has been guiding you. So there's a variety with general reads. Some of you were on better terms, and you feel like they've been being present, trying to help you in those moments of panic attack and things. But either way, whether it is them who has been the problem and the burden, or it's been something else, they are saying to cut the cords. Okay, we have consciousness. So they have been reviewing what they've done. You see that there's a tear. They have been reviewing what they've done, for sure, from a place of a higher consciousness now. And I do think this has caused them some pain. This is like 14 is like temperance. So in temperance and tarot, we see the angels come down to earth and is experimenting, right? This is like reverse temperance. This is like the angels gone back to the other spiritual plane and can now see in a different way, like what their experimenting cost. So they could definitely have some regrets about certain things, or wish that they could have been more understanding, or wish that they could have just been more woke when they were down here. Yeah, literally, hangman reverse. Literally could have wished that they could be more woke when they were down here. It said, nah, I'm not haunting you. So they're coming through and they're around because they are in the collective consciousness, okay? But they're saying, I'm not just haunting you, which is funny because it is the hangman reverse. It's so cohesive. Neptunian energy, literally, 12th house energy is, you know, Pisces energy. They could be Pisces. We have Gemini. Sorry, I didn't say signs. We have Gemini, Aquarius, eighth sign, so it could be Leo. We have, or sorry, I was thinking eighth month. So Leo or a sign is Scorpio. We have Sagittarius as well. Okay, they could have very prominent Neptune. They could have had very prominent Neptune or 12th house placements. So yeah, they're beyond the 12th house. They're in the 14th house out here in other realms. So they're like, no, I'm not haunting you, but I can come through very quickly. So they seem like they did very good crossing over because now they can come to and fro. They can kind of, they're very, they can kind of permeate everything though. So you might be like, did they just answer my thought? Did they just, you know, pop in my radio, turn on a song? They are very just fluid in the all that is. They feel like they are everything. But no, they're not haunting you though. They're not trying to scare you. Let's see what else we have. Yes, they just feel like they're in Neverland. The Six of Cups with the dragonfly upright. We parted too soon. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow, this is so cohesive. Y'all saw me draw these live. They know what they're saying. Six of Cups, which is children. The dragonfly is the eternal symbol of a child. I've mentioned before, but it's sometimes put on the graves of children. And it said, we parted too soon. And here they're trying to call. So some of you, it's been a while. And oh my gosh, it looks like they're doing temperance right there. This one's trying. These ones are doing Two of Cups. This one's made a mistake, dumped out the Ace of Cups. Wow. So whether this person was 43, 73, whenever it was, they felt like you parted too soon, probably in the physical world and with their crossing over. Yeah, they could have been a bit hazardous at certain points, or they could have had to take on a journey that they felt they had to streamline and do themselves. This could have been a lot of starts and stops in the connection because dragonflies can fly all directions. Or much like that song that came through where it's like, if you say that it's over, you know, basically I'm not going to believe that. I'll just come back, right? They feel like they're always going to be around you. They're always going to find you in every life. This is like that real soulmate energy where it's like, I can come back and be your kid. Like, you could be my child. I could be your grandparent. Like, we could be in any connection. Like, it's never going to be over with us. We're eternal, immortal souls. It's definitely how this person feels. Strong Aquarian and Scorpio energy again. There can also be Aries, Leo, Sag. Number 43 or 34 could be significant, or 7, 4 and 3 individually as well. Yeah, and definitely if they pass before a child could be born, you know, they're really acknowledging parted too soon, you know. For some of you, we've had this message throughout the reading, but they could be with, for their family and for you, the souls of children before they come through and are born on this side of life, okay? Before they come through over here, or if they're more recently passed, they plan on they plan on connecting with all those little souls before they come over here. Okay, and I feel like that goes for fur babies too. For some of you, it's fur babies that you would be having, and they're going to help connect you with the right little soul. Okay, we have truth. Okay, they're going to say some truth. They're up here trying hard to spit out some truth to you. They could have been changing the clouds and trying to get your attention when if you're looking out a window or if you're outside, showing you shapes and messages and symbols, things in the land and the trees, talking through the breeze. We did get the lungs here, so air energy, okay? And we have the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, it looks like they're working hard. They could be really, really trying to talk clairaudient with you again, clairaudiently, or because we have the crown chakra here with a stag. You might see a stag, a fox, a frog, a toad, or a sparrow. Okay, they could also try to talk to you. Yeah, they really try to talk to you through the land, I think, for a lot of you. Maybe through some of you scrying crystals, or maybe you're open to like messages from the fairies or something, so they're trying to talk to you in those kind of ways. Maybe certain birds come to you, for sure. There's a lot of spirits that like to talk, maybe using a cardinal or an eagle. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm saying clairaudiently. We have Neptune here in the air, musical energy, and they said keep making music, keep creating. So whatever it is that you create in your life, a lot of you are very talented, you're artistic, you have some kind of skills, okay? It could be even your business, it could be, creating more family or creating more friends or creating a love life, but for sure, especially if it's music, and that makes sense that I heard clairaudiently a song only for this group. Did that come through like that? Will be missing you. So for some of you, you've already lost someone. It could be again a fur baby, a child, could have passed. I'm so sorry for your losses, whoever has passed, but they're letting you know that they're together because they said we'll be missing you. So they definitely, as much as they can connect and communicate with you in this realm, they are feeling like they wish they were even more present. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. You saw me shuffle these live. Didn't you hear me whisper to you? Do you see? Trying to blow that sound out? Okay. Let's just. Didn't you hear me whisper to you? Keep making music. We have the Hanged Man, which is a card of Neptune, which is music. We have them consciously trying to connect with you. And we have the lungs, air. Didn't you hear me whisper to you? Wow. So if you feel like they are talking to you, communicating to you, they might do it when you're asleep. I'm seeing the you guys might really work in the arts. I'm seeing that scene from Casper where she's sleeping and he whispers, "Can I keep you?" And he kisses her and it feels like a little chill, a little cold. And so she wants the window closed, all right? So this person's definitely communicating to you. Whew, talk about chills. We have pleasure. This person wants you to keep enjoying your life. We have the full reverse. So yeah, they're saying you're still in this, okay? You're still down here on this earth. You're not the one who has crossed on to the other side. They don't want you to keep stopping from going through your open doors, your opportunities. And we have the deer here. We just said that was a symbol from them, so they definitely confirmed that very quickly. We had the stag, and here we have a doe. So a doe and a door, a doe. So I think they want you to have a good time. They want you to laugh. They want you to get all the blessings you deserve. They want you to keep creating. Those are seen as very fertile, maternal, patient, loving, gentle, deserving creatures, innocent, pure-hearted, loving creatures. And so they think you're very deserving of pleasure. Oh, wow. They said it always would have turned out this way. So they're even getting ahead to some of what we're going to ask questions about later. So they would have always stopped at some point, and you would be meant to continue through yourself. Your enlightenment, your lifetime has different requirements than theirs, different informations. that you needed, different things you needed to achieve. And I'm seeing all this like vines and moss growing down, like this opportunity. The moon's almost setting, you know, all the way. So this opportunity's been here. It's time for you to go and accept your blessings, to enjoy pleasure. Maybe they would have even stopped you from it, or they did. And so they're saying, you know, it kind of needs to be this way. I needed to be out of the way, and you needed to go on to these other things. We have thriving. This came up in another option. And we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, it says now it doesn't hurt. Whew, okay. So for some of you, this person, you know that they suffered a lot of abuse in life. They might have even in some ways inflicted it to show power, to try to show that they were. This is the first time I've had this card come up slightly negatively twice, but kind of in their pursuit of ambition and power, they could have been abusive, they could have misused their power, they could have been in the negative side of the ego, or they could have really experienced others who were like that. People who had like toxic masculinity, or, you know, on the wrong side of anger, you know, greed and envy and jealousy and things. For some of them also, they could have had maybe a longer standing condition, or they could have went in a way that was painful. There could have been fire, there could have been some kind of infections, inflammation, burning. We'll just stop there, but whatever it is for them, they're saying now it doesn't hurt. If there were certain wounds and tragedies that they just couldn't get over, that caused them to keep hurting themselves, maybe even physically hurting themselves, having addictions, sabotaging their relationships, hurting you, now they are able to release that hurt, and that's a good sign, because hurt people hurt people. And now that it doesn't hurt, they can do better. Their energy is not toxic, so they have gone into higher consciousness. They do see 2020 vision, pardon the pun, in this year of 2020. They do see looking back at things differently, so their energy is more healed. They're not in a toxic state were you to connect with them. Not saying that you have to, and not saying that it, you know, that it's necessarily you need to call them in all the time or anything like that, but for those who are concerned, they are healed, and it doesn't hurt anymore in a variety of ways. Wow, they're definitely able to communicate, that's for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and get some of the astro dice, although this group seems to communicate very well through cards. Let's see if we get any names or words that are significant, past, present, future. I'm seeing gust, gust, like wind. They keep talking about wind, and then it flew over to W, so there could be significant, maybe some of you, whether it's you play wind instruments, you live somewhere where it's blustery, maybe their name is something connected to wind. Again, they can cause a lot of breezes and chills. We can have Whitney as a name. They could have white in their name. Maybe they were Caucasian. Maybe you were. They could have maybe they lived in a place. I mean, the word white is in so many different things. There could be Gustavo, Gustav, something of that nature. This is reminding me of, for some reason, of like gastro. So maybe they were into like gastro pubs or foods or micro beers or something. For some of them, I think they needed an MRI. They could have been in IT. For some of you, they could have worked in oil or something like that. Or they could have worked at like a gas station at some point, or had something. Maybe they were a mechanic, they worked on cars, or you do. Yeah, oh, let me tell you the letters. GUSITEOWHR. There's 2 I's, 2 H's, 2 T's. Oh, for some of you, no. For some of you, they said they were ghetto, or you were ghetto. Okay, or they could have just be honest and say, look, like, you know, we were from the ghetto. that's where we're born and raised, okay? That's what happened. That's my story. For some of you, they might have hit people. They could have been a shit talker, a fighter. That did come up in another group. I'm so sorry if that ever happens to you. It's not okay, and you don't have to. You deserve to heal at your own pace, okay? For some of you, they could have had some children, so I'm seeing sire. Maybe they were into breeding animals or connected with animals in some way like that. For some of you, they like to be very fit and try different things, because I'm just getting this like Iron Man kind of thing. Maybe they were into Iron Man, like the show. But they could have been in like marathons, triathlons, hiking, running, very athletic for some of you, or you could be. I'm also seeing ire here, so they could have been someone that you didn't want to like rouse their ire. Like if they turned a scornful eye on someone, they were very vicious. They could definitely read someone. They could have climbed very high in life compared to where they started, or could have been very ambitious. They could have lived in a place that was high, in the city terraces or in a skyscraper uptown or something at some point. They could have always been high, that's for sure. An option, their sight. They could have had glasses, or they could have been known for having very good sight. Maybe they always squinted or something. That could have been a thing. We have tire. There could have been something with a car. Something that happened with the tire that was there. We have Tut. They could have been connected to, like, maybe they were really interested in Egypt. Had things with Egypt. Yeah, maybe they were into like hieroglyphics, or maybe they had a name that was like that. Something that was like Egyptian based. Okay. This is also reminding me of like a euro, so maybe they were connected to in Greece. That came up. I think people are watching multiple groups. Although we have distinctive energies, some of them I can see kind of crossing over, coming back through to talk. There could have been something about the way they grew. Maybe they're really tall, because they said height. High, and then we do have height actually. Maybe they're from like Crown Heights, or a place that has heights in its name. We also have weight, so yeah, maybe they were a fighter or something, so their height and weight was something significant. They could have had Row in their name, Roland. Oh, Roland Heights. Whoa, that's a place. Okay, so there could be words like that going on. For some of you, they're saying something about your wig, so maybe your wig's different. Okay, you change your hair a lot. We have Hero, so they could have liked Big Hero 6 or something that had Hero in it. I just got Smash Mouth, so hey, now you're an all-star. I'm almost getting humor with that, because in that he's describing like being in the atmosphere, and like what, like it's a cold place. They say it gets colder and things like that, so they might be very cheeky if you've been asking them, what's it like there, what's it like there, what's it like there. For some of them, they had a gut, they might have teased, or if you know, they would tease you if you had a gut, they could be teasing about that. Some of them were a Taurus. All right, so that is what I'm getting. Go ahead and screenshot those letters. We're going to move on to charms. You can play it back, so screenshot it. I also saw Nero, so some of them could have, it's actually, I saw the word Nero, and then in my mind was shown Nero from Sons of Anarchy, which is a show that's extremely problematic in a lot of ways, but many of us have seen it. And Nero in that was somebody who, they were like super street, and they went through addictions and stuff, but they try to find like legal and I guess a little bit more society friendly ways to do things that might have been super taboo. They worked with sex workers, and we're still just close to a lot of danger. So this person, for some of you, was someone who was born around a lot of stuff like that, or they could have been trying to, do the best version of what they knew how to do. And they might have come out of, maybe they had been in jail, or they had been in juvie, or they had been in drugs, or they had done the rough side of life, not by even choice maybe, and then they try to go to the other side. That character Nero in that also had a child that had specifically, I think it was spina bifida, and also showed like ended up taking in other people's kids, and was really kind to kids, and just and you scratch the surface, and this person was actually more caring than they seemed if you just saw them from the outside. So and that's coming through so strongly, so I'm going to relay it. But so this person could have been like that, where maybe they were the kid who needed some help and support to get out of tough situations. Maybe they were fostered, adopted. Maybe they had chronic health concerns when they were younger, or even into their adulthood, or maybe they have a child that's still here that goes through a lot of things. They want to make sure that they're looked out for. Yeah, so you guys will know how that applies. So we're going to go ahead and get charms. They're going to get a little loud, and we're going to allow the messages to continue. And remember, it is a general read, so if something doesn't exactly apply, it might come back around, and you could have an aha moment, or it could, be for someone else. If you know your person wasn't a big talker, I think you'll also know they don't like to channel too much, because I literally just heard, I don't need this shit. So either that, or someone is like mad talking crap to this person a lot, and they're just like, I don't need this. I did see SHIT again in the charms, okay? So for some of you, if you're talking crap and you know that they wouldn't want to take that, we got the devil, the little devil charm. So look, it's like, you're attractive, but you ain't that attractive, okay? But at the same time, they have the scales, so they might know they kind of deserve it. Again, we have a lot of attraction. We have the attraction root here, almost like, you're my downfall. Like, I'm up here, I could have all these people, so many people attracted to me, but you're my downfall. You're the person that I try to partner with. I try to fit your cookie cutter, even though I really can't. I try to clean up. I try to make this work. You could be Libra. We have Aquarius, Pisces. Here we have Aries, Taurus, Scorpio. I think I said Aquarius, right? For some of you, it was a car accident. It was a crash. Someone lost control of a car. There was some other circumstances with the vehicle, okay, that this person passed by. Or you have gone through some kind of vehicle concern since they passed, and they were there looking out for you, kind of spotting the situation, okay? Yeah, this person is super attracted to you, and they feel like you was attracted to them too, for sure. Um, a lot of love, even though they tend to pump the brakes a lot um, on the situation. I feel like they were too stubborn to say how much that they would just be sprung on you, in love with you. They felt like you were their good luck. Some of you, you knew this. They literally were like, wanted you around at certain times because they felt like you were good luck to them. We have the initials Z and K that are here as well. Zeke, Zacharias, Zachary, something Z and K over here. Could be a name, maybe it's K and C that way. But yeah, this person, it's like, even at the end of things, they think of you, they feel grateful for you, they feel connected to you. There's love here. We got the love charm. There's friendship and camaraderie that they feel for you in this connection. They could want you to show a little bit more love to their friends and not freeze them out too much, if that's been a thing. Or they could still, if it's an old running conversation you have where you're like, oh, I can't stand your friend, they'll be like, oh, come on, they're not so bad. Z's cool. Oh, we have S, that's what it was. I'm like, I know I saw another letter. Okay, some of them you were close to their mom, or they were close to you. There could be like holiday events and stuff, and I feel like they would want you to still join in, like show your face again. Don't be a stranger. Join in. Yeah, for some of you, you inherited something from this person. You had something that was given to you, even if it was sentimental meaning, or they're saying hold on to whatever it was because it has value. maybe for you guys were like, this is no physical value, but they're like, hey, it's sentimental, don't get rid of it. Or if you're like, oh, this is only sentimental, you'll find out it actually has some physical value to it. But yeah, they definitely felt very proud belonging to you. And they felt you cleaned up really nice. They like when you they like showing you off, and they bragged on you more, and people knew that they were way more stuck and sprung and head over heels for you than you might have thought. And if you thought that they didn't talk about you to anyone, they sure did. Like, their friends knew. um you're like, what friends? I don't know, someone on the internet or something, because they got people around. And they could have a family member that knew, like, they cared for you. That's here, even though it might have ended up, kind of freezing out. Some of you guys got, blocked each other, went your separate ways, and that kind of thing. I think they always thought of you in the holidays, and they always had that fondness. They were just really stubborn. They would stop themselves from sending messages, but they always felt like you guys had like a telepathy, a spiritual connection that happened. All right, so now, if you do not want to look into the past situation that happened, and could things have gone differently, then we're going to go ahead and part ways now. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I wish you well on your path. I'm sorry for your loss. If you would like to continue on, we're going to pull some tarot here, and we're going to pull some playing card from a five suited playing card to see what was the past relationship, and how would it continue, or how could it have played out. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me just channel. Okay, so here we go. What was the past connection here? Seven of Swords reversed. I feel like someone was telling the truth, but they were thinking, no, you're not telling the truth. Someone thought that someone was being shady and lying, but they were really telling the truth. Ten of Pentacles reversed, Page of Swords reversed, Seven of Wands. Some of you, it was just you had to part ways because of education or family concerns. Six of Cups reversed, Knight of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, some of you went different ways with schooling. I also feel like some of you are watching this and the person's not actually dead. You just are no contact, but you wanted to watch the reading. So shout outs to you. It might be a little weird. Let us know what placements that you have that are slightly morbid. We have Hierophant reversed. Yeah, there definitely could have been, this could have been someone you went to school with or work with. We have Hierophant reversed and the Lovers here. You guys might have felt like you were non-traditionally wed, or maybe you were traditionally wed, but not modern day. Yeah, Six of Pentacles here, like you didn't pay the Quartz or whatever to marry you, but you were married in a traditional ceremony, common law marriage, something like that, instead. Yeah, I feel like I feel like you guys were very insecure. All right, and you were always sure that one of you was going to run off with somebody else, that maybe this wasn't real soulmate, or maybe you weren't appreciated as a soulmate connection, or maybe it was never going to come together. There could have been a third party, or just circumstances. For some of you, like I said, it was like work or education, and initially that kind of created a divider in the situation, maybe coming from different backgrounds, and then it grew into other people kind of wiggling in the way, and it just seemed like a choice was made for you. And you guys might have, if you really were like, did they cheat on me? Like, did they? I'm seeing someone falsely accused. Okay, I'm seeing somebody being accused of not being faithful and being focused on either health, family things, or like it's like wealth over here, like trying to, you know, get out of poverty or something, and then being accused of some kind of cheating. So this could be what you needed to hear in this reading, what you were concerned with. Literally the storm, I had to reset the soundtrack here. It was like, okay, the storm's done, then that's what I needed to know. So some of you are going to feel really good hearing that. Six of Cups in this deck is pleasure, and it's reversed under the Seven of Swords upright. So it's like we're hearing the truth. There was no sleeping around in that case, okay? For those of you where it was unclear. Mhm. This is just so strange though, because I feel like a lot of people chose this pile that their person's not gone. So please excuse for those who they are. No disrespect intended. I'm just really feeling that psychically, where I'm like, it's more like I feel like there's some dramatics with some people in this group who are like, well, they're dead to me, so metaphorically, I'm going to get this reading because I haven't seen them since school days, kind of vibe. Now, for some of you, you could have held that mentality and then they actually passed. And now you're like, oh my God, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I just got the news. Like, I've always, maybe for years, you might have found out this person passed like years ago and you're just like, what? Like, what the hell? Like, I always thought I was just kind of metaphorically feeling like, oh yeah, they're gone. They're, you know, no longer, alive to me. And then you found out, no, they passed like 3 4 years ago. And you're like, what is going on? Why did I not see a obituary? Like, what happened? Like, you could, I'm just seeing someone upset with someone's family. Like, you didn't tell me, you couldn't exchange this information. Like, you knew that we were close. um, for some of you, you did just recently find out, okay? Again, I'm so sorry, everyone, for your loss. Again, I relate, all right? I'm sorry. And it is showing you're going to get through this. We have Valor. I think you guys could be being a little bit overly strong. You might have kind of harm the messenger, whoever let you know. I've been upset about, like, well, what about this and what about that, especially if they had moved on and married someone else. Some of you could have found out in a very rude way about this. So it doesn't kind of want to talk about the past so much. It's just talking about, we'll get to it, we'll pull it out, but it's really wanting to talk about kind of how things ended and finding out the news of this person's passing. Okay, they can have someone who still feels like they are married to them or had the rights to be married to them, who's been kind of being frustrating that you've had to deal with, and you just like, child, bye. I'm finding out this news about someone I cared about that it didn't work out with, that I felt, we had, it felt like betrayal, it felt like all this going on. And um, for some of you, you felt you had to kind of share this person, like maybe no one was cheating, but it was like they could have been someone who would go from serious relationship to serious relationship, where they would get with someone right after, and both, like, nobody was just a rebound, nobody was getting cheated on, but it was just confusing. And then they might have gone to the person that they had more history with, or you could have been shocked if you're the person they had more history with and they chose someone else. um, and for some of you, you could have just felt like passion lacked. And so you did, allow yourself to be kind of seduced into another situation, or you just felt like it was time to go. Again, it's emphasizing on not cheating for the most of you, okay? If you know there was a cheating situation, then you know that. But for a lot of you, if you were just feeling guilty, you're like, oh, I don't know, emotions were kind of unclear, I'm not sure, should I feel like I cheated on them? Should I feel like they cheated on me? It's saying no. Sometimes we don't have, you know, a razor edge clarity on, if we zoom in to 3000, look at every little pixel here. But overall, I think you both were kind of damaged when you connected. You both could have been treated badly. You both could have felt a lack of sense of home for some reason and felt disconnected from your families. And I think that whatever happened with whoever chose something different, wasn't trying to harm but didn't know how to do right, I feel like. You know what I mean? Um, for the most of you, okay? But I really don't see that it was like, um, I see one person more seriously chosen, but I don't see, like, it's Six of Pentacles. It's like everyone's equal in the situation. So if you've been dealing with guilt, if it's been bringing up like, oh my gosh, well, if they just chose this person, it could have literally been very practical. Like, it could have been like, well, this person is closer to my age and you're younger, and I feel awkward dating someone who's 3 years younger, so I'll go with someone who's 4 years older because that feels better to me for some reason. Like it could have just gotten to very, it's seemingly impractical to love, but practical to people's common sense, I guess, kind of decisions that ended up happening, okay? And I just feel like you could just make yourself mad trying to solve that, like trying to figure out, tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. Who was the most perfect? Who made the best choices? Who was the most wrong? So I feel like this is asking you to release that. And again, this is suggestions at the pace that you can, but that's why we're doing the reading. This is part of the process. So when you're ready, that suggestion will be there. So let's see, could things have gone differently? That can help us. Is there karma there? Was things cleared up? Did your spirit crews and your souls have different plans for this connection? How did free wills interrupt things? Let's see what the cards have to say. All right, and this will be our last pull for this. So we're going to get all the information, okay? Someone could be an only parent, and it was in the plans. It was known that this would happen, okay? Yeah, especially there could be single mothers, okay? It was in the plans with it knowing that this person was going to cross over, okay? Yeah, and it was part of some kind of work or experience that wanted to be done here in the physical realm. Even the sense of being, left to make your own home, or kind of left in this ceremony or marriage yourself. All earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo could be very prominent. Yeah, it was part of this kind of plan that was here, that this person wouldn't be here full term. Again, some of you, it's dealing with schooling. Like it was always known that you guys would split at some point and go down to kind of different life paths. The sevens here. Yeah, I think it's saying it's easier to think of these things as victories. Like, oh yeah, you need to experience this because that one lifetime you left early and left someone else as the only parent of your kid. Or, oh, that one time you're the one who went and studied abroad and left the relationship. So this time they'll go study abroad. It's in spirit realm. We think of things in a dreamier sense. And we're like, oh yeah, okay, cool, let's do that. I'll experience that. And it will just balance my experiences out. But when we come here, it can freaking suck. And, even Spirit Crew has to say that. Five of Diamonds are like, yeah, once we come down here, we shift our perspective on the things that we agree to. We can be burdened, right? We got that 10 of Clubs, that 10 of Wands feeling again. Yeah, if you guys went to school or worked together, or if you had children together, if your families knew each other, that was definitely predestined and planned. Like you guys were meant to be. Some of you definitely, you knew each other when you were younger, went to school, or you just happened to work a certain place where you met this person, or go to school a certain place where you met this person, or one of you had moved to a certain community and just happened to meet this person. Like whatever that was, that day-to-day routine, that physical earth connection, that was predestined, pre-planned. You guys needed to physically be around each other and start joining in. We have 444, so you might see fours, and I look up and I see 4111 up here. So that's a big thing. And again, ceremonies. These fours come up as ceremonies a lot in these readings. And ceremonies are weddings, marriages, children. They're any types of vows we take. And the spirit world doesn't look at them. Yes, all this ancestral energy here. The spirit world doesn't look at them the same way we do. Or we feel like now, because we have love and because we have some kind of bond or vow, that means that we have to be in a picket fence, married with 2.5 kids or whatever. That's not necessarily what love and vows and agreements mean in the spirit world. So I think that your heart was very open to this person, and I think that their spirit energy and their guides led them more on their lessons and try to hold them to that. And some of like your love and engagement, and maybe you were engaged to this person, took over more than focusing, while they were around, on maybe ambitions or certain growth marks. Maybe you did focus on like, well, I want a ring, I want to get married or whatever, but it wasn't necessarily your spiritual goals. You see what I'm saying? And so they allowed this breakup to happen, and it was almost like a precursor to grief that would happen. Yeah, but I feel like this person always loved you. For some of you, you guys were very off and on, or you stayed best friends, or you just knew like you guys would still hook up or something, or you just were close co-parents, because it was very hard. Even if someone else was there, it was like you were the one who was the marriage partner to this person, even if they were with someone else. And it was like the other person was the ex. They might have right in front of this person that they went and chose and came to you, especially if they had been drunk, or if they were in a very celebratory mood, or if you guys did share kids or co-parent, they couldn't hide affection. If they were around you, people would think that you were their partner, even if you guys weren't partners anymore. People always really expected you guys to get back together. Even if they had kids with someone else, that person's kids might have felt like you guys would get back together or something. For some of you, I am getting that this person was bisexual or pansexual, or had some um, uh, gender identity they might have came into later, or maybe they weren't so loud about it at certain periods of their life. So that's possible as well. Okay. And for some of them, they never ever expressed that externally, so they didn't act on it or feel like they could be themselves full out. And I feel like they plan on doing so next lifetime. And that's part of their work for next lifetime. And maybe something that they didn't actually fully complete this lifetime is to be more full-fledged who they were, in those ways. Yeah, I feel like for some of them, um, I almost feel like partially closeted, so maybe because they definitely seem interested in whoever you are in your gender, but maybe they were also interested in other genders, and they had a spectrum of gender identity that they related to, and they didn't blossom into that. Okay. For some of you, it could be that you guys have a child who is non-binary, gay, lesbian, whatever, and so that could be where they wish they could have had more time to help them on their journey, to let them know that they're loved, they're accepted. Um, yeah, so they do still have some things that they would like to experience. It's important to them that they experience life with you around, and confirming things for them, and accepting them and loving them. And they were meant to do the same for you, so they do feel like they fell short. They don't feel like it's all resolved. 888 is here, so that could be a reminder that if you see that number, at least when it's in relation to them, that they are aware that they fell short, and they are working on it in the spirit realm. They remember that they owe you that karma, and it is that infinity symbol on the side. So they do feel like you guys owe each other some karma. It's not too bad though, because we're getting a 9 from the spirit world, right? But once you guys incarnate again next time, it'll be a little rough, but there'll be a lot of love. There will be a lot of love, but y'all will have some cycles to work out. Potentially, you guys could see what you can work through in spirit right now, with you being woke and them being willing right now on the other side. They're saying we'll be yeah, I'll come, we'll meet again for sure, we'll meet again for sure. So if you see sixes, 666, it's not a bad number. That's a relationship number. Like the lovers, if you see 666, just remember that song. I believe it was for this pile, because I'm hearing it again. I've been reading so long, y'all. Contradictions by Molly Music and Janae Aiko. If you say that it's over, for them, they say, I won't die. I'll come back. I'll come back again. I'll come back for more. We'll meet again, I'm sure. Yeah. And I think their spirit crew, their ancestors agree. You guys will meet again. You'll meet again and again and again. And you'll create beautiful things together. So the spirit world advice from their spirit crew is, if you guys had a business together, if you had children together, animals together, or if they had encouraged something in you that you were passionate about, don't let it die out of spite if you never came to terms with, if you guys had a bad breakup, or don't let it die out of grief that they died and they passed away. Keep those things alive. If you were, a musician, if you were wanting to be a veterinarian, whatever it is, don't let grief or sadness, regret, um, longing, whatever it is, anger, stop you from the blessings that were inspired through this connection. Um, yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of kudos that you guys could still give each other, and that will help your connection to have less beef next time you guys have to interact. Okay. So anything else? hmm You could be connecting with somebody who is going to help you communicate. It could be someone who's a holistic healer. They do feel a little bit non-traditional if they are a counselor. And I think some of you're like, I'm feeling bratty. I want to argue. I was arguing, talking crap this whole reading. I don't feel nice about this. I don't feel happy. I'm mad that they left, or I'm mad because I can't stand them still. Whatever it is. So I do feel like you're going to find the right person who won't take it personally and who can be a little feisty with you back, and who can help you transmute that energy so that you can go and have your sessions and get it all out and say what you're upset with and give all your details, and then feel, like a badass empowered self. And yes, the Queen of Wands is ready to say, yeah, I will accept these blessings that I deserve. I will keep on my path. I will get those kudos, right? So go ahead and look into that for those of you who are feeling feisty. Again, and some of you, we talked about school. This person, it was at school that you connected with them, and some of you might have dropped out, or you haven't been wanting to do those studies, or maybe you guys had specialities and you're not wanting to do it. So yeah, you worked hard. Get your kudos for what you're working so hard for in your life. So I really, truly, and deeply hope this helped you. I feel better. Thank you for allowing me this space to share. I was doing these readings and, setting up this channeling myself, working through things, creating these index cards and stuff. Oh, look, for all of us. Release the anguish, please. Okay? And like I said, I relate. So with all respect, all love, and all hope for your healing, and for the healing of those who have crossed over, we need the collective to be healed. So even the gnarly ones, we need them to get it together now and to heal up. And definitely for the ones who were already on that love stuff, I really hope that everyone is feeling better, and that you guys don't mind these super long videos. I hope you love them. um I said 4:20. Someone said, let me go blaze this up now, because this was a lot. But yes, it was good, I think. So we'll talk to you again on another one. Bye. Like, share, subscribe.